They can be a little bit misleading. Let's have a look at these runners. Number one here is over the wicket. There's been very good support. 670, 2 points shorter on track. Dubai to Sydney 250. Well, it's a lot longer on track. It's out on. Strato Cruiser 72 spot on. Sweet Science 520.
Set, they're off and racing now. Dubai to Sydney's missed the start. He was back amongst the last 2 or 3, and the first starter, Brawl, came out speedily and has got the lead. Broke away and led from Sweet Science, and Siderius going up along the inside. Naku Penda's making ground, and there's another one trapped the back last of all. Well, Brawl showed high speed out of the gates, and he found the rail and led by a half a length on Big Ethan. Siderius gets the run of the race, followed by Naku Penda. Dubai to Sydney is now 5th on the inside, over the wicket, taking off 3 wide, followed by Sweet Science, who's being hard-ridden as they turn for home, and Brawl's under a good hold. He led by about a length and a half on Siderius coming off his back, and then came further afield Big Ethan, Naku Penda. Dubai to Sydney's trying to force out off the inside and then came over the wicket. Siderius raced up to Brawl. They're fighting it out at the 200. Over the wicket, a length and a half away, coming down the outside. It's Siderius just in front of Brawl with 100 to go. Over the wicket, trying to wear them down on the outside. He's coming at Siderius. Siderius in front and held on. Siderius has won it narrowly, I think, from over the wicket. Photo third. Dubai to Sydney's there with Brawl, and Dewporth has come right down the outside with a big run. 3 fighting out third spot.
Indeed, and a beautiful looking colt, this one. A real general Nadim as well, and times and margins about to come through for you. The time 1:11.87 for the Darley Pago State.
Son of General Nadim, who cost 210,000 Magic Millions into the Golden Slipper, beating over the wicket Peter Roble, and Dubai to Sydney misses out, goes to the size. Times between the two-year-olds are pretty comparable. Anthony, you've persevered with this horse.
I don't think so. This horse looks more like a sprinter. He got all the favours from Barrier 1, and he's a very, very fit racehorse. Look, he got the job done there. He's picked up a bit of prize money, and good luck to him.
Well, they've got the 2 of them there at $21, I think, with TAB Sportsbet, and they probably are genuine $21 chances. Over the wicket, is it?
Magic Night Stakes as well. For the 2-year-old fillies, the Group 2, we'll have a look at them.
Favourite number 3, Sear the Mare, $92 is spot on. Sin, $19. It's $61 on Portillo's, $11 into 9 on track, $6.50. The tote's very skinny. We go down to Glow Lamp, $8 into $5.50. Very well backed. Peter Roble riding for Clary Connors. Glow Lamp is your market mover, very heavily backed here on track. $8.70 the tote, huge overs. It's $3.
Ready. Racing now, and Penny Banger came out of the stalls quickly on the inside. It's one of the leaders. Sugar Babe was out of the stalls very quickly, and in fact Sugar Babe's gone to the lead. It's Sugar Babe in front from Glow Lamp and Penny Banger, followed by Sin, and then came Samantha Miss striding up to 5th, but out 3 wide. Just Sugar Babe, led by 3/4 of a length as they near the 600 metres, followed by Glow Lamp on the outside in 2nd spot. Penny Banger's been given the run of the race. Samantha Miss hasn't been able to get on the track. It's still out wide. Going up in the centre, Sin, followed by Portillo and Sear the Mare, and well back behind them Strawberry Field. He shakes up Sugar Babe now as they turn for home. Its leader's about a length and a half on Samantha Miss coming after it. They've run past Glow Lamp, and then came Penny Banger, and Strawberry Field is getting up on the rail. Sugar Babe led at the 200. Oliver starts to feel for the stick now, still led clearly from Samantha Miss. Here comes Portillo, and Soho Secret are starting to run on. Sugar Babe's in front. Portillo flies on the outside, and it's a photo. Portillo has put in a big bound on the outside, and is in the photo with Sugar Babe, and I'm not sure for third. There's Strawberry Field there with Delta Girl, and Samantha Miss was wider out with Glow Lamp. Back behind them, Think
Rod Quinn, when he was able to get this filly out. Portillo, number 7, looks to have got home ahead of number 2, Sugar Babe. She went to the front, surprised many.
She won. She's run only 4 100ths slower than the girls. There's not much in them today. There's not much in them. Rodney Quinn for Peter Snowden on the English interim dividends, $7.80 and $2.20. 2 Sugar Babe 160, number 6
A row, and she runs for the 3rd week next week in the Golden Slipper. Cost $850,000 at the Easter sales last year. Trying to become the first filly since Bint Masqué in 1993 to come off the Magic Night and back up a week later and win the Slipper. First 2 are very good fillies, Rich, Portillo and also Sugar Babe.
No doubt. I know the stewards inquired into Damon Oliver going so far forward on Sugar Babe. I thought he showed why he's a champion rider. It's the week before the Golden Slipper. You had to run 1-2 to get in the field. No use going back. Where was she going to be? Yeah. Back 6 lengths off them? She couldn't have run in the first 2. Maybe next week in the Slipper, draw a barrier, sit behind them. Showed initiative yesterday. Portillo, Well, Rodney Quinn showed, I know he's been around a while, Rodney, but geez, I think he's riding as good as he was when he was 25. Sleaze is just tossing up at the moment, but I think she will go the size.
David Hayes, the top two here, All-American and Von Costa de Hero, who sat home yesterday happy. Related at $9. Can a horse win the Golden Slipper second up? Well, perhaps it can. Sebring there at 9. Look, a lot of horses are Tuesday and the barrier draw to say what.
And with the weather tipping out.
Well, that's a key point, isn't it?
Exactly right. There's a lot of rain tip for this week, and if that happens, and Mark Morrissey from Bet Choice just rang the studio to say that this morning they've laid Sebring over the wicket to very clever punters to lose over $100,000. So I think they two horses that we know handle the wet tracks have been supported this morning. So
look, maybe for later. And Samantha Miss had no luck. 3 and 4 deep, no cover there. Just didn't help her cause because she didn't relax at all.
Sugar Babe might improve a little bit out of this. I mean, it's
She
not.
has to. Look, it's a bunch finish.
Well, yeah, it is. Quite right. I mean, she's had 3 weeks between runs, and I know she's had a pretty easy time between runs because she came back from the Gold Coast. So, you know, never having raced up on the pace before in her life, and it's probably not her preferred way. She may improve a little bit, but she'll need to.
To Hobartville Stakes for the 3-year-olds over the 1,400 metres. Of course, Triple Honour, another interesting runner here is Megatic. Of course, he's the top 3-year-old in Western Australia, a winner of the Group 1 Kingston Town Stakes and also the Western Australian Guineas. He's currently around $8. Triple Honour is into $40. Electromotive is $15. Serious Speed, the filly from Adelaide, $8.50. Visitor Triple Honour, $3.20, came into $3.10, now back out to the $3.20 mark. Murdergill at $11 into $9. Of course, this start time for race number 5. The market mover, though, Megatic number 1, the West Australian Visitor, already agreed.
Racing now and jumping out of the stalls quickly was Pins on Parade. It bursts through in the centre to take the lead. There goes Murdergill from a wide gate. He's going up to race for the lead as well. Royal Discretion will follow them across to be third, followed by Esperante and Cent Percent, and Pins on Parade in front, 800 to go. Kicked away and led by a length and a half. Murdergill is second, one off the rail. Then Esperante and Royal Discretion. No luck for Cent Percent again today. He's out deep. Then came Serious Speed, who's sneaking up on the rail. Megatic was next, followed in behind them next by Pistols. Triple Honour is back midfield, 3 and 4 deep, looking for a run between horses. Hurried Choice going up on the fence. Then came Turfentine and Cravings into the straight, and Pins on Parade the leader. Murdergill up on the outside, and Serious Speed got a beautiful passage through on the inside, and Serious Speed, the filly, has sprinted away. Murdergill coming after it again on the outside. It's Murdergill and Serious Speed fighting it out. Royal Discretion and Triple Honour are next. It's Murdergill on the outside and Serious Speed. Serious Speed and Murdergill. Serious Speed's got a 10 in front, and the filly does it. Serious Speed beat Murdergill. It's a photo for third. We've got Turfentine and Royal Discretion, and then came Electromotive, followed by Triple Honour. Then came Craving, starting to make up some ground late, followed by Gurgis, and then came Hurried Choice, Megatic, followed by Pins on Parade, Esperante, Cent Percent, and Pistols has run tailed off.
She is something special. Number 12, Serious Speed, the big colt. Murdergill just pushed her on the outside, but she was strong enough to fight back. There's not much of her. She did this in the 1,000 Guineas as well. She outclassed a good field there, and she's done it again here agaginst the boys. Number 12,
half neck by 2 lengths. A half neck 2 lengths. 123.36. The last 635.54. 123.36. The last 635.54.
This filly, she was a Group 1 winner of the 1,000 Guineas in Melbourne, and now she's the Hobartville Stakes winner, heading on towards the Doncaster handicap, beating Murdergill and Turfentine.
It's an envious position to be in. Good performance, great training performance. I tell you what I reckon cost Murdergill. Murdergill lost this race a fortnight ago when it had 59.5 and took the sitting behind them and had a track gallop rather than a hard hit out. He still looked a half run short, and that's what Tim Martin thought after the race.
And there's Craig Williams, another...
The track was fair from inside to outside. We get paranoid, jockeys get paranoid, owners, trainers, punters all get paranoid. It was fair all across the board.
Having just a tick.
No, she's obviously a very good filly. Did everything wrong, wasn't concentrating, wanted to lay out, first go here. Look at her there, she's on one rein, on the inside rein. She's top class. You know, well, she's proven top class, and it will be a real force in the Doncaster, believe me. Murdergill, just one run short. Have a look at this thing in the thing of Freedman's here. Electromotive, the black and white, just back in the field, running into dead ends there. Oh,
he went to go for a split there and it closed.
What split?
Turfentine wobbled out and then wobbled back in again, so he was locked in behind there. But when he got out, he actually went to the line pretty well.
What a flashing light it had. It'll be winning, a Carbine Club or something.
I hope so.
Have a look at him again.
Minutes away from the feature race, the Dubai Rosehill Guineas, of course, over the 2,000 metres. The group, Latorio's just got out to $6.50. Dealer Principal, $7.50. But Guillotine opened at $6.50. He's now come into $5.50. A Guillotine is now the favourite, but very open sort of a race, as I said. On the tote, you can see marching around the 4. Number 13's out.
Been spec, and well, Dealer Principal's backed earlier in the week. Still, Giant's been heavily backed on track, and now the money's really coming for Largo Lad in the Perrins colours, and Guillotine.
Faded Horse was the winner last year. Before that, horses such as Aeroman, Sky High.
Racing in the Guineas, and as they appear in view, Steel Giant from the inside stall began well. So too did Arlington and King Dakar, and Mission Critical up on the outsides, pressing for the lead as well. So about 3 or 4 vying for the lead in the early stages, but it's the Kiwi Mission Critical taking it up. Led from King Dakar. Pillar of Hercules striding forward out wide. Followed came Imperator, who's taking off around them. Then came Latorio, followed further back by Largo Lad. Red Ruler is second last, and Solo Flyer is last of all. Leader here is Mission Critical by a length again. Moved away from Marching, who's in second spot, and Pillar of Hercules continuing on around the outside. Steel Giant's been given a beautiful run in transit, and then came King Dakar. Couple of lengths to Guillotine. Dealer Principal over on the inside, and then came Arlington turning for home in the Guineas, and Mission Critical led. Steel Giant's coming off its back to go after it. Pillar of Hercules Marching is struggling from King Dakar. Arlington's coming down the outside, and Dealer Principal, but Steel Giant raced up and hit the lead. Dealer Principal along the inside. King Dakar is starting to come as well. There's 3 stretched across the track. Dealer Principal, Steel Giant, and also King Dakar, and Largo Lad's on the outside fence, but Dealer Principal takes out the Guineas. Dealer Principal won it from King Dakar. I've got no idea what's run third. They're all over the place. Latorio's there with Red Ruler, and Largo Lad out wide from Solo Flyer. Back behind them next, Imperator. Steel Giant knocking up, and then came...
Taking the big step up here, number 6, Dealer Principal, Peter Roble.
Just a very good horse and a good ride. Race panned out very much the way we expected. Good barriers win good races, good rides win good races, and certainly good horses do.
Well, obviously he is, because he's taken a step each time this preparation.
He has done, but I think he's always done it within himself. I mean, you know, I think there was still something left in the tank today, and you know, one of the along the way the chats that I've had with Peter Horwitz, one of the main owners, is you know, I didn't really want to bottom him out this preparation. It's his first racing prep.
Money in, Peter. Let me just tell you, Caroline, you mark it down now that Laterio is a good thing in the AJC Derby. Laterio, a good thing in the Derby. 6-3, 2 and 12. Dealer Principal 983.20. King Dakar 3.
Just for having faith, engaged me for the ride in a Group 1 race. You know, I hadn't rode a Group 1 winner before, and had limited rides in Group 1 races. So I take my hat off to those 2 gentlemen for offering the ride, and as I said, having enough faith in me to give me the mount. And yeah, it's overwhelming. Peter, how did the ride?
None more so than the winner, Dealer Principal. Only start number 5, now a Group 1 winner for Flying Spur, who cost $150,000 at the sales. King Dakar good, Latorio good, Largo Lad good, Guillotine poor, Marching poor. More on that shortly. But Anthony, there's a lot of upside with this horse, only start number 5.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's pretty unusual for a horse to get to Group 1 standard at that time. We were lucky enough to have another one a couple of years ago in Hotel Grand. This guy, you know, probably doing it a little bit later, and will probably have a better future for the sake of that.
Did you expect that he had...
From the 3 gate, just travelled, and yeah, they'd been wanting to get off the fence a bit. Like last meeting, I thought the fence wasn't too bad, and yesterday I thought the fence was good, so I was more than happy to stay there. When they started peeling in front of me, I thought, well, yeah, it's good.
When you're riding, Pete, and we're all getting too paranoid about the fence. Race 1 up the betting ring, everyone can, or a trainer to say, listen, I think the fence is off and you've got to come off, or do most trainers just say, just get back first?
Yeah, I think it's not a lot of trainers tell you to come off the fence, but I think it's a case of you strain up, you stay hard up against the paint, and you get beat the neck. They say you should have come off, so I think to play the safety comes...
Here's the latest market. Why wouldn't Dealer Principal be favourite ahead of Latorio and Largo Lad, having beaten them yesterday? Prince de Gaulle off a...
Yet, and it's a gruelling. Laterio's had the miles in the legs in the spring. We know he'll run the 1.5 miles. They quicken...
Very, very good horse this. You don't do some of the things this horse has done in one preparation. The question has to be asked, how many more times can they press the button? Once more? Maybe, maybe not. Does that affect a spring? Do we pull the pin now and say, well, you've done enough this prep, and we'll concentrate on a big race, a Cox Plate maybe?
Why have you backed something else in the
No,
Derby?
no. Well,
how could you stop now?
Well, he's backed something else in the Derby. That's why he doesn't want it to run.
Look, it's a fine line between going one run too many. I've seen it happen all too often.
So if you owned the horse, Ronnie, if you owned it and you had the chance to run in the Derby,
yes,
you would surely say to the trainer, if the horse is well run in the Derby, instead of waiting for the spring. I've heard you many a time say, don't wait, go now, instead of waiting where the horse could get injured or something like that.
No, you haven't.
He has heard you.
You have not.
Come on,
I'm not saying stop. Definitely stop. If this horse goes home and thrives, why not? But if he shows one little bit of saying,
and that's what you are saying,
I'm hurting,
okay,
you've got to stop.
Just before we go to Peter Robel, I just want to make the comment. If those lines on the track are those virtual lines that the broadcaster puts on. Now, I sort of stopped the film a few times on those virtual lines, and some of the chasers were no closer to that horse at the finishing line than they were at the 200-metre mark. Yeah. He held them as well as any horse in the race. He seemed to stay the trip as well, if not better, than any horse.
4 minutes' time. Bonhoeffer here in the last, $35 is spot on. Malcolm, money for the favourite, Bobadar already. 370 into 330, the tote spot on. It's 20 points shorter on track. God's Hand, $15 is spot on the mark. Briambo's Gift, 31. It's 10 points shorter with the bookmakers. Make that 15 points shorter. All Silent, $22. It is on the TAB at $22. On track, $17. And the bottom one...
About half a dozen to move in. Just Mambo comes up with Taranabar. So favourite here, Bobadar, very heavily backed. Still $3.30 on the... They're off in the last, and All Silent came out of the stalls poorly and is back in the last 2 or 3, viewed behind it as they settle down fully into stride, and going to the leaders. Just Mambo takes over from Hadaf, and up on the outside is Taranabar. Fillets went forward from that wide alley, but they've got him posted out a little bit wide early on. Briambo's Gift came Little Saiwan. All Silence picked up some ground after missing the start, followed by Malcolm and Bonhoeffer. Well back was German Chocolate, viewed as second last, and last of all Vegas Showgirl. 800 metres to go, and Taranabar kicked up on the outside and takes the lead now. It's Taranabar in front of Just Mambo on the inside, and Fillets is facing the breeze, running third. Then came Adaf and Briambo's Gift. Mr. Ubiquitous was next, followed by Friday Creek. God's Hand was further back. Bobadar the favourite, about 5 or 6 off the lead. And then came Bar Lenny and Little Saiwan, and All Silent back near the inside. It's Just Mambo and Taranabar fighting it out. Fillets on the outside. Briambo's Gift is getting a run near the inside with Adaf. Friday Creek being nursed along, and Bobadar and Mr. Ubiquitous are starting to come down the outside. Friday Creek spreaded to the front. Bobadar is flying on the outside. All Silent getting a rails run. It's Bobadar coming up at Friday Creek, and All Silent right along the fence. All Silent on the insides hit the lead, and All Silent won it from Friday Creek or Bobadar, and then came God's Hand. Further back was Barlini, and then came Viewed and Briambo's Gift. Well back behind them Fillets, who had a tough run, and then Little Saiwan, followed by Mr. Ubiquitous, Just Mambo, Hadaf, then German Chocolate. Further back behind them next we had Malcolm.
He's pretty smart. He's now won 3 of 5. All Silent for Jeff Lloyd, and what a good run that was. He's the half to private steer. We remember the way she used to blitz home in her races, often from the outside. He's come through on the inside here and has got up
the fence, right on the fence. All Silent, he goes up, he probably gives him 2 lengths at the 150. He chases them down and he goes home too good to beat Friday Creek and Bobadar. What was that horse getting through? I think that was one of Bart Cummings' runners, Carolina. Was it either God's Hand, which it was God's Hand. Wasn't that an eye catcher? The numbers are...
Performance, Graham, you've always thought this horse was pretty special. He's proved it today.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's been a bit of a sleeper. He's come along very late in the scene, and it'll be unbelievable if he gets in the Doncaster and he's 6th run in a race. But, like, he's got a devastating finish on him, you know?
We're just showing that, but if he gets...
16 All Silent, $19.84, 25 Friday Creek. He just seems to find one better. $2.50, 7 Bobadar, every chance, $1.81. If you threw number 14, God's Hand, in for 4th, the first 4's paid $14,000.
Been a great day's race. We got to the last and then saw this stunning performance by a horse who's really on the rise. Bobadar, it had its chance. Friday Creek cruised up, as Friday Creek does, and All this was happening on the inside. All Silent just cruised to the post. What an exciting horse this is, Rich.
Yeah, most definitely. And look, we should have asked Peter Roble about him. Peter's ridden him on a couple of occasions, All Silent, when he was in the studio, Pete. Good performance, and the track played super. Back to the inside. He didn't begin very well, All Silent, but he's got a stack of ability. Let me just tell you that Graham Begg's wife, lovely lady, was not very happy, Sue. 1,000, I think I won't tell the amount. She backed it first up for a considerable amount, backed it second up for a considerable amount. Yesterday she had the smallest bet, honestly. My 2-year-old's got $2 in the money box. She had $2 each way. She wasn't happy.
Well, I want to tell you one bloke who was happy. A bit uphill, Rich, to get into the Doncaster with only a fortnight to go.
Yeah, but I agree with Graham, and if he gets in, he'll have no weight on his back if he happened to scrape into the field. But with so many horses, and that's the thing with EI, we've got a huge abundance, we've got capacity fields, which is great for racing. It's going to be touch and go to get into the field.
It was a half-brother to Private Steer who won a Doncaster. Opponent stuff.
Firstly, on the horse, he's a good horse, this.
Yeah.
It's only his fifth start. He's a half-brother to Private Steer, I just noticed, and he's only having his fifth start there. He's jumped in grade to a Group 2, and he's a talent. He's a real talent.
So what do you do, Ronnie? If you get in the Doncaster, he's had one prep with 5 starts. Do you run him in the Donny?
Yep. Well, he hasn't had one prep. But you're not going to know what you're saying there, Andrew. He's only third up. He won a couple of races last prep. He's had a few preps. He's had a couple of preps in Hong Kong, for your information, as well.
And he didn't race there.
That's right. That's true. But hang on, Graham Begg thinks he needs to get he needs to get a penalty out of this race to actually get in the Doncaster.
He won't get in a Doncaster.
Well, this is an issue we'll have to look at, because that's tough on those horses. I know that the Doncaster weights and the order of entry is advertised and set and that, but it seems unfortunate that a horse going this well may miss out.
Yeah, look, and on the track, I think most jockeys got it wrong. I thought it was better out wide too, but when you assess the situation, there was nothing wrong with the track. Look, I was the first one to admit that.
For a special, 15, 2 and 6.
And Zarita on course hasn't moved an inch. Very, very solid right through betting. Zagreb has shifted out that half a point on course, and
Derby in Adelaide, the South Australian Derby. Zagreb at $3.50 or $3.10 Unitab, $3.50 Super Tab. He's one of the main chances. And you go down to the filly down the bottom, who is the favourite, Zarita.
At Group 1 level, playing up as Eldana in 3. They're racing in the Derby. Beginning slowly, Spender Diamond. Zagreb was slow out. And first out wide, Zarita working forward with Spirit Star. Megaboss leading on the rails at the moment. Climb the Hills Over racing outside of it. And then came wider out was New Jean. Spirit Star was next. Zarita whipped around the outside at the first turn to go and sit outside of the pace of the leader early. Dana just ahead of Zagreb there. And last of all, Lars Boy. So they bunch up. 800 metres left to go in the Derby. It's Megaboss in front on the outside. Spirit Star, Zarita third. There's Jad Prince taking off. Cosmic Commander and San Roque go with it. So there's a line of 5 at the 700 metre mark. Just behind those came Spenderdime sticking to the inside. Further out was Vigor. With them New Jean climb the hill. Now Zagreb taken right to the outside from Lars Boy. Eldana stayed hard on the inside rail. With it, next shot coming through, and then a Razzmatazz around the turn, and Zarita swept up and hit the lead in the Derby. Megaboss tries to rally. Here's Zagreb coming down the outside, and Eldana back to the inside. It's Zarita, and Zagreb is coming after her. Zarita's in front. Zagreb is coming quickly. Zarita a length. Zagreb trying hard. He's giving away too much start, and the filly wins the Derby. Zarita a half to Zagreb, who closed quickly. Third in the race, I'd say New Jean. A photo for fourth. We had Mega Boss, Eldana, and also Vigor, and close up there was Lars Boy on their heels. Then it's not on the semaphore.
Oh, she's a smart filly, isn't she? Zarita taking out the SA Derby ahead of Zagreb by Zabil, the 2 top-class 3-year-olds there. The filly beating home the colt in
1,000 at the sales for Bill Frost and his family, and she's won 7 of 11, almost $1 million return in prize money. There'll be a lot more to come for her. Zagreb ran on. New Jean got a Group 1 placing, but gee, I love the way this filly races and puts herself into a race, Rich.
That's the biggest part about her, isn't it, Bruce? She just puts herself into the race. She goes forward, and then she is as tough as tea every time. And I think Hilton Donaldson fell in the trap. We all do it. You think, oh, here comes the back markers. They're going to go swoop. Then she just kicks. The toughness kicks in. We saw it with Absolute Glam. We saw it with Moment in Time a fortnight ago. We saw it yesterday with Zagreb. They'd gone hard. but she was just too tough.
It's going to be a Visitors Oaks, perhaps. Zarita is favourite, coming from Melbourne via South Australia. Benicia coming off, well, from Guy Walter, coming from Kembla Grange. Grand Journey coming from Western Australia after starting off in Victoria. Boundless, Queen of
Time. What David does with it now, I don't know. Eldana stuck to the inside, wanted to hang in.
Alf, just before you go on,
yes,
you watch her.
Yep.
She gets that, she has her ears pricked, then she sees this horse coming, because she's watching him.
That's her trademark.
And then she lays the ears back and goes hard, and then pulling up, if you watch her after the line, and I did, she pricks her ears up again. She's got something special. She's got quality.
Spot on, like.
She's come through really well. I spoke with David Hayes. One of the key quotes that he gave me this morning, he said, Eldana's going out. He said, Zagreb, if he's a one-pace jumper, I reckon Ron Dufficy's at an Olympic swimmer.
Oh, now that's below the belt, if you know the bit of few home truths there.
No, maybe water polo, like the ball.
I taught David Hayes' kids to swim.
You did.
I did.
You did.
Anyway,
Right.
that's another story.
Oh, Forbes
I'm wrong about. I have to put the white flag up here. I'm wrong about Zagreb. I judged him on one run with blinkers.
That's 2 this morning you've been wrong.
And around a tight track, Ron. And around a tight track you judged him.
It could be a Melbourne Cup horse.
Oh, now you want to... What, the Cup hurdle? Or?
After the Cup hurdle.
Let's hear from Jared McLean over at Morfettville. He has got Cargo Colt in the Goodwood. Moving them in. This is a massive field here for the Goodwood Handicap, and look at that for a betting race. The favourite's $8.20, and that is Publishing.
Just ahead of number 2, which is Here the Angels at $7.80, $8.30 for number 12, Monet Rules. They're the top one in the market for the Goodwood. Here's Hilton Donaldson for the call.
Pinsilla on drawn barrier 9. So there's about 5. They stand beautifully. They're off and racing. Beginning terribly here, the Angels. Slow out Diplomatic Force, and first away was Monet Rules, showing speed, Immortality. They're coming across from out wide. Good speed also, Shark Bite. Driving through now, Penceleron, Belmur, Vivacious Spirit. Along the inside, booting up was Coachinero. Settling just behind these leaders was Sleek Chassis. Then Diplomatic Force mustering speed underneath runners, and with it was Cargo Colt, followed by Belmur. Misjudgment wider out. Further back in the field came Pinnacles, then Let Go Tomo, Shadow Way, Zipanese well back to count to 0, followed by Idalou, Tramontana. Here the Angels on the turn, 500 metres to go, a line of 3. It is Coachinero inside of Vivacious Spirit, and 3 out on the track, Immortality, Shark Bite 4 out, or Shark Bite 4 out. Then came Diplomatic Force, Cargo Colt needs a run, Misjudgment wider back to the inside, Shadow Ways, further back Penceleron, and down the outside Pinnacles putting in a run. Let Go Tomo heads the others, Tramontana wider, Shadow Ways. He dashed for home in the Goodwood. He's 2 in front of Cargo Colt, Diplomatic Force, and further back came Misjudgment, but it's Shadow Ways. Shadow Ways wins the Goodwood 2 lengths. Second, Cargo Colt ahead away. Third, Diplomatic Force, and Photo fourth. We had Pinnacles flashing up, count to 0. Tramontana outside them. Then Misjudgment, Shark Bite, Zipanese, Let Go Tomo, Here the Angels, followed in by Coachinero. Then came Publishing, Immortality, Idalou never in the action, Vivacious Spirit, Penceleron. Monet Rules knocking up, Sleek Chassis well back, and Belmur pulling up behind the others in 1:9.36.
Number 8, Shadowways taking out the Group 1 Goodwood Handicap there in Adelaide ahead of a gallant Cargo Colt, not quite getting the run at the right time. Running into second place, number 10. And number 6, Diplomatic Force, just on his inside, filling third placing.
I said he is a very consistent galloper who probably gets his chance here today from a very consistent galloper who probably gets his chance.
Get away, third, Diplomatic.
Hadn't won a race for about 18 months, had been terribly out of form. Showed a hint of it perhaps in the Newmarket Handicap prior, but a Group 1 at $31 yesterday for Mark Pegas and Gwenda Johnson. Has been a good horse for the stable. Shadow Ways has won more than $500,000 before yesterday. Cargo Colt deprived again of Group 1, but Pegas cut the corner there, got to the best part of the track, and decisive victory. Diplomatic Force ran third. Publishing Ordinary. Here the Angels blew the start.
Yeah, look, a couple of things out of the race. Shadow Way, we knew he's had the ability. He's been out of form, but congratulations for Gwenda getting him right. And a big rap for Jared McLean. Hasn't he done an unbelievable job? Everyone thought Cargo Colt was washed up 18 months ago. He's now back running. Well, he's run 2 places in Group 1s this preparation. Marvellous effort.
No doubt about that.
Hey, what do? We haven't got a leader, and everyone held up. Well, that helped Shadowweight being able to race that little bit closer. He didn't overdo it. He stuck to the inside and got the prize. Cargo Colt I thought was very good. Gee, Jared McLean, like he's done a fantastic job with that horse. Diplomatic Force missed the start. Look, didn't get the perfect run because, as you can see here, he was dictated to by the winner. Monet Rules got into a little bit of trouble, and I think Troy Corstens was probably a little bit disappointed. Had he have been perhaps in front when the other horse missed the start, might have suited him better, but he was of the same opinion as me. Once he hit Angel, missed the kick. Everyone didn't have a Rule 2.
Yeah, hard to make any excuses there. He destroyed them there, Shadowways, and you have to feel for the connections of Cargo Colt. He's racing so well. Terry Henderson, Simon O'Donnell, they had the other
finding one to beat him.
Couple of Group 1 placings yesterday. They had Nugene, who ran third in the Derby, so they had a bit of a day out, but no real cream.
As we learned to...
But the barrier draw play a huge role, so would the weather. The weather will be could be even more important than the barrier draw this year, Bruce.
Well, as you mentioned before, there's been punters this morning betting on horses who have got proven wet track form.
Yeah, most definitely, and
over track form.
Yeah, most definitely, and Over the Wicket loves the going, and Sebring's one in loves the going, so it'll be those two will certainly be advantaged. And they're no mug punters. The blokes that make it do it for a living, and they've wagered this morning and very heavily on those.
She's pretty solid. Always saying this track's very heavy as they come back in. Does it matter where you are on this track, do you think?
Obviously, by that time of the day, you'll be getting off the fence. They're getting off the fence already. You know, there's that sort of 5 metres out where the horses will get onto better ground. And as the day...
Inside a wide berth in both races. Nuclear Sky coming right down. This one to load for the Maya Tulloch Stakes, Group 2. Off now, and jumping out quickly was Jabal Tarek. So too Prince de Gaulle and Happy High Pants, Walking or Dancing, and 9 Dragons came out of the gates well and is in the first couple, but there comes the speed from the outside. Mufasa and Voice Commander are ripping across from the outside, and it's Mufasa headed now by Voice Commander as they settle down. Right behind them Prince de Gaulle, followed by Walking on Ipsum Downs, and behind them is Circle of Fame. The leader Prince de Gaulle with about 6.50 to run, led from Our Mystique, who's flat. Voice Commander's already off the bit, and then came getting up on the inside Mufasa. Happy High Pants is starting to run on into it, followed by 9 Dragons, Walking or Dancing, but Prince de Gaulle is full of running as they turn for home. 400 to go. He's 2 or 3 lengths in front of Mufasa. Happy High Pants was next, and then came Rios getting up along the inside, and right down the outside Book of Kells. Prince de Gaulle in front of the 200. He's starting to come back to them now. Rios and Book of Kells are coming down the outside. It's Book of Kells surging to the lead, 100 to go. Rios over on the fences trying to run him down, but Book of Kells is clear, and Book of Kells beat Rios and Prince de Gaulle. And then there's a wall of horses for fourth. We've got Mufasa, Happy High Pants, Jabal Tarek, and Circle of Fame from Moatize, Kick and Chase, and My Sweet Cookie.
Behind Prince de Gaulle's 61.40, 15.93. Rios at $6.10. Third, number 6, Prince de
Gaulle's, who did all the work and kept trying hard, but Bart also would come out of the race hoping that Moatize can get into the Derby because its run was terrific, finishing 10th.
Yeah, it was a good run. It had absolutely no luck. Darren Beeman just gets chopped out there. He's about third last in the picture. And I think if he gets back onto better ground, yeah, look, it's not silly. It's got to get into the field's the worry for it. Book of Kells, nice honest horse, getting better. If you look to follow one horse out.
At Mark Latorio yesterday, is that the B grade division?
Yeah, well, I think Prince de Gaulle, I think Richard's right. I think it's the only horse you could possibly entertain going into the Derby.
Yesterday, where do you put Book of Kells and those up against Latorio, Largo, Lad, Dealer Principal?
Look, it's hard. You'd say no, Andrew, but this is usually a fringe dweller's race for the Derby, although, you know, horses like Mahogany and Starcraft have won it leading into Derbies, but no, definitely no Derby types here, although, geez, I spotted a horse there that ran 10th. Moatize. 10th. It ran 10th.
Yeah.
If you got it on tape, just replay it.
You replayed it to me this morning. I tell you what.
That heavy.
The hard thing to work out. Moatize was desperately unlucky previous at was it Kembla Grange?
Yeah, exactly. In a maiden. So
in a maiden. Like,
I'm sure he's loaded with potential. It's all too soon for him. Might be a spring horse, Carbine Club, or whatever.
All right.
15 minutes away from start time. Another Group 1 here. This is the Arrowfield Stud Stakes, of course, won last year by Miss Finland. Before that, Serenade Rose, Hollow Bullet, Special Harmony, and a number of Oaks winners going through the Arrowfield Stud Stakes.
On the mark, Vera's
Group 1 Arrowfield Stud Stakes. Let's go up to Mark.
Thanks, Caroline. And you've outlined the firmers there. Good money for Pentura, Heavenly Glow, and Preman over to beat this favourite, Benicia. They're set. Racing now, and Rays flew out of the gates. One of the best into stride, in fact, Benicia, and there goes Galileo's Daughter, pressing across from a wide gate. Pentura not all that far away at the end of 200 metres. Behind them, Rose of Cimarron, followed by Marjorie in the centre, and then came Vera's Pride, who's surprisingly getting a long way back. Rose was Benicia, and then came Roman Interlude. Marjorie taking off around the outside, followed by Rays, and then Heavenly Glows coming into it nicely. Prima Nova spat the bit out at that point from Vera's Pride, and last is Subtle Cove. It's Galileo's Daughter in front. Pentura pops off the fence to go after it, and then Cade Benicia. Heavenly Glows starting to finish on strongly with Roman Interlude. Galileo's Daughter led at the 300 metres from Pentura. Heavenly Glows coming between them and finishing fast. It's Galileo's Daughter taken on by Heavenly Glow. Robert Thompson brings it through the centre, takes the lead, and it dashes away Heavenly Glow. Fantastic ride by Tomo, and Heavenly Glow races away to win the Arrowfield. Beat Galileo's Daughter and Pentura. Then came Benicia, followed by Rays. Well back was Prima Nova, Marjorie, and then came Vera's Pride. Roman Interlude, and a long gap to Subtle Cove, and Rosa Cimarron out the back last of all.
Heavenly Glow takes out the Arrowfield Stakes, the Group 1 for the fillies, and what a good ride there. Robert Thompson, 600. They ran in 35.46. Inglis interims on your screen, Rich.
Yeah, 6 Heavenly Glow, 580 to 190, $6 to 5 here on track.
Well, no jockey riding in Australia has ridden more winners than Robert Thompson, and that would be one of his best rides of the 3,300 he has ridden. A dominant victory in the end by Heavenly Glow. I would doubt those who finished behind her are any chance in the Oaks.
Yeah, Mark, my opinion was, look, Pentura, Rays and Benicia couldn't get past Galileo's Daughter. That rules them out for me.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I think Heavenly Glow was the best run in the Nolan Classic. It was a lot better run than both Benicia and Rays, and it was ridden differently yesterday, gave it its chance, and it hit the line well. It's the best of the Sydney horses. I think it's going to be a pretty thin Oaks this year. Camarilla's obviously under an injury cloud. Zarita coming forward? Yeah, well, she's going to be odds on, I think.
She's tough. She could nearly start in the red.
She'll be odds on.
She's bomb-proof. Like, she won the Derby over.
Shaskay, which of course was Guy Walter's first Group 1. Here's the market. Rich, have you just left the studio to take that $4?
Well, I'll take $4. I'll take the $5.50. I can't see. How's Benicia $7? I know Guy Walter works magic with 3 old fillies, but he'd have to be Merlin. Grand Journey, Royal Harmony.
I wish them all the very best. You know, Group 1 win, it's fantastic. I just wonder whether that is really a Group 1 field.
Well, the second filly comes out of a Saturday Newcastle Mate.
I know. Exactly.
They've won the lottery there, a Group 1 placing.
Exactly.
And but what's the market tell us then? Zarita's $3.50. Heavenly Glow is second pick at $6.
Gee, I'd like to get the 350. Just lock it in, Eddie. There you go. 350.
He won the other day.
It should be 250. There's no opposition.
Okay.
Sermione, $5, firm to half point, got back out at 6.30. Dayjoy, $2.90 favourite, $3.60, 70 cents of value. Princess Cope, $3.40 on track, $2.90 the Tate Skinny. On track, $2.90 Tuesday Joy, $3.40 Princess Cope. Sermione's been the best back, 5 into $4.20, heavily back. Red Lord, 26, 70s. Tuesday Joy, $2.70 to $3.20. Princess Cope, $3.40 to $3.20. The market mover, number 6. They're getting set for the Group 1 BMW. Here's Mark.
Goes in Tara. They're both fidgety. They're off and racing now. And Giro Valley and Pentathon both missed the start. Coming out well was Red Lord with Spirit of Tara. Bromphilinity followed by the Fuzz, and Bundoor and Breeze is coming up on the outside. Now Tuesday Joy just cut straight across behind them to get in one off the rail from County Tyrone. And then Princess Cope followed by Giro Valley, who after missing the jump getting back was Sermione, and Pentathon's out and Pentathon on the outside of it. But he starts to click up now on Bundoor and Breeze, and with County Tyrone they extend their lead by a couple of lengths now on Spirit of Tara, and Beedman has brought Tuesday Joy right along the inside into third spot now, and Princess Cope follows it through into the straight now. County Tyrone and Bundoor and Breeze. Tuesday Joy looming up menacingly on the outside with Spirit of Tara. Princess Cope nowhere to go. He's had to switch back to the inside as Tuesday Joy has raced to the lead from Spirit of Tara. Princess Cope is trying to run on, but Tuesday Joy shot away 150 to to go. It's Tuesday Joy, well clear from Spirit of Tara, Princess Cope and Sermione, and Beedman again for another Group 1 Tuesday Joy. Tuesday Joy wins it from Princess Cope. Third home Sermione, and then came in behind them next Spirit of Tara, ran a game race from County Tyrone, Duro Valley, Pentathon, Bundoran Breeze, Bromfelinity, well back the Fuzz, and last in was Red Lord.
What a super mare she is. Tuesday Joy, she's done it again, taking out the BMW. John Singleton particularly happy about this horse here. He named her after the Melbourne Cup. Whether she goes to the Cup or on to the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, we'll wait and see between Singo and
Performance. But what about the ride? I don't care. He's the best I've ever seen. I know it's easy to ride good horses, but this bloke, you can't be that...
Painless, wasn't it? A brilliant Beedman ride.
Absolutely painless. She's a most superb mare, isn't she? I mean, he had a lovely...
Well, she's won easily enough today, and obviously you've still got those not so fond memories of your last trip to Longchamp for the Arc.
No, that's what I really want to get square on. And to win it, she will win it at the Arc, either whether it's this year or next year.
Rebel Starkey's not available for this. We'll see her again anyway.
We do have I can't shout the bar here, mate, but all the bars in Newcastle, Wyong and Gosford, they've got Blue Tongue happy hour at 5 o'clock, so it's going to be happy 2 hours if the other one, Sugar Babe, gets up.
Well, let's hope so.
So let's go to Newcastle.
Good on you. Well done, see ya. Johnson.
Inglis interims, 3:30, 150. Tuesday Joy, Princess Cope, 150. Sermione third at 190. Quinella...
Vote for.
Yeah, like a mile and a half was a little bit suspect. Mares haven't got a good record in it, but she bounced out and just put herself into the right spot and just probably rode her a bit of a cheeky race by going to the fence. But I thought, well, it's the shortest way home and horses are winning in there, so when I want it, just ride a horse and win 3 Group 1s for 3 rides. So it's a bit of a fairy tale story.
Only had 3 rides on Tuesday Joy, all at Group 1 level, all winners. That was brilliant. Princess Cope, no excuse. Sermione, no excuse. They gave their best. They weren't good enough. Tuesday Joy was. It was pretty a watch mark, wasn't it? You could sort of sense Beedman thinking as it panned out, where should I be?
Well, first 200 I said, oh, well, he'll be 3 wide with cover. Then he was 1 off the fence, and then he was on the fence. It was just, you know...
It'll be a bigger fairy tale for all if Gay gets her way, Mark, and Tuesday Joy stays here to win the race she's named after, the Melbourne Cup, and then she is seasoned, and EI rules may change a touch, and she can get to Europe next year.
Yeah, I hope she does stay in Australia. I'd rather see Australian horses race in Australia, and I hope she does get set for the Melbourne Cup. And as you say, Bruce,
he doesn't make as many errors as other jockeys, and that's, you know, that's no disrespect to other jockeys. Darren Beedman, when he gets a little bit of luck, when the dealer gives him 2 kings, he splits them and gets 2 aces on top of them. You know, he just makes maximum value out of it. Here's the start. You can see him. He's out wide there, and he's thinking, what do I do here? What do I do here? Who's going forward? He's sort of smelling who's going to do what. He thinks, okay, there's one's gone forward. There's a little half a gap. Well, I'll just shoot in there. Next minute, bang. He's right in the perfect spot, and the others are still worrying about where they're going to be, and he's already there. Yeah. And that, you know, that's where he makes absolute full advantage of his luck.
No map in Australia had him there.
No. No.
It was just going to be awkward.
Exactly.
And he just does it time in, time out.
Does it too often for him.
Yeah, look, second and third lost momentum in the run, but look, take nothing away from the winner. She's brave, and she would have rallied if something moved up to her as well.
Ronnie, does Darren... Does he intimidate jockeys up here, do you think?
Well, they're terrified of him. You know, it was like they just left the gap for him there. They were just, oh, who wants to follow Darren? I want to follow him. He's like, come in here. You know, like, I don't know. Look, he's just at the top of his game at the moment, and confidence is a marvellous thing.
A couple of handicappers went pretty ordinary there. The Fuzz and Red Lord.
The Fuzz, there's something wrong with the Fuzz. And Red Lord, likewise. They're 2 high-profile horses leading into the Sydney Cup that you have to reassess.
Well, they're not over the line yet.
Exactly.
Guys, David Hayes told me this morning they have had a total examination of the Fuzz, and they cannot fault him.
Oh my!
They are going to persist. They're going to go to the Sydney Cup.
I can smell Glastonbury all over again.
Oh my God!
There's only 10 of us old enough to remember that. Remember they pulled the grandstand down.
Hey Andrew, they're going to get a...
Let's have a look at the totes, and this is an absolute cracker. Make sure if you're in the bars, you're at home, get in front of the TVs. The George Ryder, sponsored by Cathay Pacific. Number 1 racing to win. He's been the big go since they came out on Wednesday. They bet 350 on Wednesday. Today, he's 270 into 240, dominant. 2 good odds. Number 8, the Hustler, Weekend Hustler. Hoping to equal the record of Kingston Town with 6 Group 1s in the season. $2.80 the tote. You can get $3.10 here on track. They dominate the market. Race the market mover, the Hustler. Number 8, Weekend Hustler, is going to be the market mover for the Cathay Pacific George Rider.
Well, now Desert War just circling around, about to move forward. He goes in, there's racing in the rider and Racing to Win flew out on the outside, but he doesn't want to be up there early, and Weekend Hustler's gone through to take up the leader. Mentality right there, and now Storm Hill driving up along the inside to press for the lead. So 3 across the track early. It's Storm Hill, Weekend Hustler and Mentality trying to ease back behind him. Desert War around the outside, and then Scenic Shot from Racing to Win. Casino Last of all is Honour and War. Storm Hill and Desert War are contesting the lead here at the 600 metres. Weekend Hustler, Rawilla smoking his pipe behind them at the moment, and then came Mentality, followed by Racing to Win. He's following the Hustler everywhere it goes, and then Casino Prince from Scenic Shot and Honour and War. Weekend Hustler strides up on the outside, and he quickly races up and takes the lead now. The 3-year-old shoots for home. Racing to Win gives chase down the outside, and then came Desert War. Weekend Hustler clear, 200 to go. The only danger is Racing to Win, and then came Casino Prince. It's Weekend Hustler in front, 150 to go. He's still nicely clear. Racing to Win can't peg him back, and here's 6 Group 1s this time in for the Hustler. Weekend Hustler wins the rider from Racing to Win. Casino Prince got 3rd from Desert War, and then Scenic Shot from Mentality. Storm Hill finished 2nd last, and last in was Honour in War.
What a thrill for this big crowd, for all the connections and racing fans around Australia to watch this horse, Weekend Hustler, equal Kingstontown's record of 6 Group 1 wins in a season. He is a superstar. He's held off 0.72 the time, 36.19 that final 600.
Yeah, let's go to Bruce.
Very painless Ross to watch. It was a simple Group 1 victory, if you can have a simple Group 1 victory.
Yeah, well, when those won the lead, well, he begun, you know, if there hadn't been any pace, he probably could have led on him, but when they took off around him, he took the set, but once he started to move up to 600, I thought, geez, he'll take some beating from here.
You said pre-race you had a slight concern about the ground. He's an absolute knob in the ground.
Well, he goes on all right on anything, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, you've been saying this for a long, long time. People have never doubted what you've said, but he really is a superstar, Ross.
Yeah, no, he's the best that I've had.
Well, you've been associated with a lot of...
He's got a great motor.
To win 6 Group 1s, it puts you in elite company for the season alongside Kingston Town. Is he right there?
Well, I think he might be, yeah.
And you've always thought that when he comes back as an older horse, he's going to be an even better proposition.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll look at the Cups. Well, next year he's only go at the Cups because he'll get weighted out of him after that. So we'll just, you know, get over this one. We'll see how he pulls up.
What's your thoughts through the Doncaster then?
Well, I'm not sure at the moment. You know, he's done a terrific job, and to go and make him lump that weight, no 3-year-olds carried more than 54 and 1. So, you know, I think we might take him home.
Okay, he's been great for you and your family.
Thank you.
Ross McDonald, the horse who's now a registered trademark, Caroline. His name was trademark yesterday. I'll get more on that for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Never going to get beat. The moment we jumped out and pinged the gates like we did, Nash's horse was slow away, and was pretty confident then when Mentality come across, wasn't going to keep pushing forward, that I had me spot. He'd come back then underneath me good. Then Desert War pushed forward, and I thought, too easy here, I'll be able to just give him a cruise along run behind him. And from the 600, I was always going to be able to get out. Just cruised up to him. I thought, no need to sort of sit and wait too long. He's showed in the past that he's happy to go on and win a race, and too good.
If there was any query...
I think he's about everybody's hero, Weekend Hustler, and he will be officially Australia's best racehorse based on the ratings. He was 122 before yesterday. That was equal to El Segundo, and after yesterday's seemingly effortless performance, Rich, to win a Group 1, he's clearly going to go to the top of the pile.
You're possibly Australia's #1 fan of betting in the run, Clarkie, and yesterday you would have bet at the 1,000, the 950, the 930, the 900, the 850, the 800. You would have just kept loading up until there was nothing left in the account. I've never seen a horse travel easier, mate.
No, I was just going to win for 1,300.
Huey Bowman, I spoke to Huey Bowman. Huey Bowman said, I come off his back at the top of the straight, and he said, I'm travelling beautiful. He said, as I peeled off the back, he said, I got a good look at Brad Rawilla in front of me, and I thought, oh, no. No.
Well, Racing to Win went outstanding. Casino Prince won a Group 1 before that, and Fair Dinkum was like a draft horse behind him, wasn't it?
You talk about lucky things.
For the Hustler, Weekend Hustler wins the rider from Racing to Win. Casino Prince got 3rd from Desert War.
Yeah, 6 Group 1s for the season. Only Kingston Town, remember him? Kingston Town's done that. Beaten his first start in the race, beaten in the Emirates. He's won 9 other races. He's won $2.4 million. Racing needs him, Rich.
They certainly do, Bruce. He's a superstar. And look, coming into the Randwick Guineas, anything that could go wrong went wrong. Coming into yesterday's race, everything that could go right went right. He had a beautiful float trip up. There was no drama.
He toyed with them. I know this has been a good race for 3-year-olds, but I've seen some good 3-year-olds win it, but that was the most dominant.
Yeah, look, and we broke the news on TVN, Mark, even though that he's won the 6 Group 1s and he was dominant yesterday, the George Ryder, he's going home. He's on the float this morning. He's heading back to Melbourne. He won't take his place in the Doncaster. Ross McDonald said he's done the job. He's done it well. He deserves a break. Look out the
Hustler and Rich, the frightening thing is, you listen to Ross McDonald, he always says, wait till this horse gets to 4, we'll set him for the Caulfield Cup, the Melbourne Cup, the Cox Plate. This is the Oakley Plate winner. Oh, he's a superstar, isn't he? And, well, he could be the greatest horse I've seen. He's not yet, but he's certainly on the way. He's unbelievable.
You talk about his high cruising speed. I don't think that was ever more evident when you saw horses like Desert War at about the 600 metres. Well, they're up in for the rent to keep going in front, so there was plenty of pace on that track. And your horse was just sitting there, still on the bit, in fact, almost towing you up behind them.
Yeah, I was just cruising. I was basically in second gear, and that's what you just love about him. He just doesn't burn any fuel when he's travelling. And before the corner, when I moved up to him, the first thing a few of the jocks said when I got back, they said I was going too soon, and I hadn't moved. I was just cruising up and just waiting to say, let's go.
Brad, he was a different horse to the horse at Randwick that was gawking and looking around. He was just so focused yesterday.
Yeah, it just Randwick.
Yeah, here you are. You've just peeled to the outside now. He's jumped straight on your back racing to win there. He's just said, I'll just follow you into the straight and I'll have the last crack at you. And from this point on, I don't think he gets any closer to you from the length of the straight.
In fact, Richard, you know, you make a good point, because isn't it wonderful? You watch a race like that, every horse had every conceivable chance to produce their best.
Yep.
He's a superstar.
Yep. And I think on the line, you know, he looks like he's closing on you a little bit here, and then you put a little gap on him again, and he closes on you a little bit more, and then you put another gap on him. Really, the margin didn't change.
OK, bring whether he be a Melbourne Cup horse or a Cox Plate horse, what's your general feel at the moment as he goes to a well-earned spell?
Well, I'm excited about the getting him to a mile and a quarter plus, and like I said, just when he does travel, he just doesn't use any fuel, and the way he's pulled up in the Guineas, the Caulfield Guineas, the Randwick Guineas, and again yesterday, there's no reason why he's not going to run further. And
20 minutes away from the Group 1 2008 Amy Golden Slipper, Rich, and I tell you what, this is a most open betting race. I tell you what, this is a most open betting race. Sebring already backed in on course, $7. He's now into $5.50.
Very well back. Number 1 All-American, $10 and rock solid. Number 2 to $31 on track. Sean Bartholomew, the big punter, said he'd back it to win $5 million. He gets his chance today. $40, it's 31 on track. Over the wicket, number Related. $9. It's $10 with the bookies. Number 6, we'll just go back up the board. We'll go back Typhoon Fury, 105, is also comparable. The jockeys are
preparation here, so it is a most unusual year. Anything could happen, and of course it's a very, very open betting race at the moment. Sebring at $6 will start as the on-course favourite here, and the rest of them just again.
Racing in the slipper, and Sebring came out last of all. Von Costa, the heroes, well back on settling down as well, and Sheesmina came out brilliantly and went to the lead from Sugar Babe. Rianne's right up there in the early stages, showing good pace out of the stalls, and so too was Anatomica. Augusta Proud is now starting to pick up some ground, followed by Siderius, and then came Berger. It's out a little bit wide as they go into the first bend. Inside it, Hips Don't Lie. Sebring, after missing the start, has made up ground along the inside to midfield, and then came Sienna's Fury, followed by Over the Wicket and Typhoon Fury. Well back was Portillo, Related as third last. All Americans behind it, and last of all is Von Costa, the hero. It's Sheesmina on the outside, just leading from Anatomica as they're about to swing for home in the Amy Golden Slipper. Rianne comes up 3 wide, Sugar Babe is 4 deep. But Augusta Proud is right behind them on the rail from Berger, and further back behind them is Hips Don't Lie and Portillo and Von Costa, the hero. It's Augusta Proud going up on the rail. The challenge, Sheesmina and Anatomica. Sebring's Sebring's about to burst through now. Right down the outside, Von Costa de Hero. Von Costa de Hero has sprinted to the lead now from Sebring. It's Von Costa de Hero and Sebring on the inside. They hit the line locked together. Might be Sebring. It might be Sebring from Von Costa de Hero. Nothing in it. It's a photo. Back behind them, Portillo. And then we've got on the outside there, we've got back behind them next, Hips Don't Lie, with All American, and Anatomicas close up from Augusta Proud. Over the wicket, Sugar Babe, and then came further back behind them next, Sienna's Fury from Cheese Mina. Related was further back behind them. And then we've got Sedarius and Berger and Rihanna's last of all. It'll be a photo.
What a sensational finish to the Amy Golden Slipper. Von Costa de Hero on the outside. Sebring looks as if might have just had the head down. We'll have a look as they get to the line. Von Costa has his head down. Sebring looks to be the winner for Gay Waterhouse. Denise Martin. Glenn Boss coming through with Sebring now. 4 from 4. This fella by More Than Ready. 8-7.
That was a sensational result, Bruce. It was everything you dream about. I mean, here's a horse that's got owned by people who put up $10,000 or $20,000 to own a horse. It just shows that in Australia, everyone and anyone can own a racehorse and win a $4 million race. That's what racing in Australia is all about.
It's fantastic, but it might have all... He was a very good 2-year-old. Now you've got this bloke, the first horse to come out of a slipper unbeaten.
Yes, well, this horse will go through unbeaten also. He's heading for the Triple Crown. We'll just see how he pulls up.
Sorry. Tell us what it's like. Oh, Glenn, that was fantastic. A great performance.
Yeah, the horse was incredible, really. I tried to get him G'd up in the barriers, but he blew the start. He walked out, and it didn't concern me, because he got into a good spot early, and he just kept his composure. There was a couple of times where he lost his footing, and he seemed to drop off, but no, quickly did he drop off. He actually picked up again. I didn't want to go to the inside, but I had no other option. But he come through quick, and he put the race. It felt like I was going to win from the 200-metre mark. I was getting a bit desperate and I looked like a goose all over him, but he's a special horse. I think when he steps up in distance, he's going to get better and better. And, you know, commiserations to Blake Shinno. Shinny, I feel sorry for you, buddy. You know, he's a young guy. He'll bounce back from this. Hopefully this will inspire him on and to keep...
to put training before...
Nothing in it. It's a photo. Back behind them, Portillo.
Well, it was Sebring, and a brilliant training performance from Gay Waterhouse. More from her shortly. An absolute sweep out for bookmakers. Sebring winning, starting price at $6, been top of the market since they first started betting on the race. 49 days between races, the runner-up 42 days. Does that tell us something, Richie Callender?
The Gay Waterhouse is a genius. Great training performance. And look, Bossy's a winner. We know that. He's come back from Hong Kong. Your heart goes out, and I think John and all the owners have said that to Blake Shin, who's done all the work on Sebring. Yeah, that was G Boss.
And so did Mark Sheehan. But Mark, did the best horse win the Golden Slipper yesterday?
Well, I think they were very dominant at the finish, both of them. There wasn't much between them, and I'm looking forward to the size and the Champagne if they both train on, because I think both of them will be better suited at 14 and 1600 metres. I don't think they're 1200-metre horses, either of them. So, you know, I don't think there's a struck match between them, really. Sebring missed the start, but he did get the breaks through the field. Von Costa de Hero coming off a long break there, 14 back to 12. As I said, I'm looking...
Where she wanted to be. Gay always wanted his last run to be on the 1st of March in the Breeders' Plate and go through there. We were all worried, though, that he wouldn't qualify for the race. So the plan was then to run him in the kindergarten. That wasn't really what Gay wanted to do. He got a temperature, he penicillin injection, couldn't run in the kindergarten, so it was back to plan 1, and it was the right plan.
Brilliant stuff. Well, Gay's Golden Slipper.
Oh, I thought he's so heroic the way that he come from in barrier 17 and, you know, had to concede a head start throughout the race, as well as, you know, we had to track her. When he let down, I thought, you know, he's going to get it. He's such a good horse, and he sprinted so well. It's the winner was tough on the line because it had a softer run, but take nothing away from my horse. He's a serious horse.
Did he backed up really well, but you know, I most probably reckon she's most probably gone 3 or 4 lengths better than she did last week today. So, you know, the 2 colts were a bit strong for her, but it was a great effort to run through around. So, no real excuse. I most probably could have done with getting around the turn a little bit better. But in saying that, I don't think I would have beat the 2 colts anyway.
Ran super. I never had any luck on her at all. She began well out of the barriers and never saw closer than 3 and 4 deep in the whole run. Every time I looked to get in, I just had horses digging up inside me. But coming to the point of the turn, or at the top of the straight, I thought she was going to be, you know, definitely run 1, 2, 3, and she should have run the first 3, but just had no luck at all.
She got a bit squeezed up.
Disappointing, Bruce. Went back from a wide gate and travelled well, but when put under full pressure, he just didn't really handle it.
Craig Newitt saying Related didn't handle the ground.
Yeah, just on the race here, I thought, to my eye, Von Coster Hero hits the lead. He actually heads Sebring, and I think Sebring fights back really well. You know,
I think he rallies.
Yeah.
I think he rallies.
You know, when I saw Von Coster Hero chime in here, I thought the race is over. He'll win by 3 or 4 here, and Sebring rallied again. There was Portillo ran on well.
Terrific run, covered ground.
Yeah, there were quite a number of good runs. There's All American out wide. I was a bit disappointed in the way that Sugar Babe. Well, she had the hardest run in the race, put it that way. And, you know, Battle On ran 6, wasn't a bad run. So there was some handy runs behind the 2 in front, but they were dominant.
I can't wait for these 2 horses to clash next week. Yeah. I really cannot wait. I think it's put life into the carnival. I think they're 2... Look, we were saying it's an even slipper. I think those 2 colts just there dominated that race. I know that you can make little excuses, but they're 2 outstanding colts. And I'm really looking forward to round 2 and possibly round 3.
And they'd have all got beaten.
But they're 2 outstanding colts.
They've all got beaten 5 lengths by Amelia's Dream if it had stayed on its feet.
But that's not the point.
No disrespect.
It's not there.
You know, but that
Ron,
not there.
round Sebring, though, is the simple fact that it missed the start. It was ridden so desperately hard in the early stages to try and hold off horses shifting around it, but then to switch off, relax and rally like it is. To me, that is a horse that's going to continue to improve and get better.
I couldn't agree more. Look, I went home from the races thinking, this Von Coster Hero is a moral next week, and I've had about 5 more looks at the race, and I think Sebring...
Exactly. I kept looking at
the Coolmore Classic. Hot Danish, gee, she's $2.80 at the moment. She's got it all ahead of her. This mare here by Nothing Like a Day in the Derby winner, and of course she's won 7 of 8 so far. Let's take a look through what's happening on course.
$6.50 into $5. That's $6.60 is a point and a half of value. Occurrence $4.90, a point and a half longer. Oh, sorry, a half point longer, $5.50. $29, 10 points shorter on track. Litter $20 is 6 points of unders. More. Hot Danish the favourite, $2.80 here on track's been rock solid. Gallant Test very well back, $10 to $6.50. Lemmy LeBrock $6.50 into $5, very well backed as well. Occurrence $6 to $5.50, and as Caroline said, Lemmy LeBrock. My tips were 14, 1, and I think it was 14.
1 filly, all set to go. Racing in the Coolmore, and Mimi LeBrock broke well, so too did Hot Danish. It's right up there with November Flight at Barrier Rise. In behind them next is Eskimo Queen rolling along the fence to still a lot closer today. And then came Lectrice and Deloraine, followed by Litter and Dana Sierra. Translates going up. Hot Danish strode to the lead now with about 1,000 metres to go. There's not much speed on, and he allowed the favourite More Rain to go to the front. Dana Sierra Translate back behind them next, a couple of lengths to Like Me Wild. Occurrence is back second last, and Lancaster Park is last of all, and trying to sneak up on the inside. Hot Danish still under a good hold as they come past the 600. Its leader's about a neck on Mimi LeBrock, and then came Gallant Tess. Eskimo Queen is back on the inside. November Flight spat the bit out, not handling the ground by the looks of it. And then came Lectrice, and Delorain's coming into it. Around the turn now, and Clark shakes up Hot Danish, and she responds. Mimi LeBrock comes after it on the outside with Gallant Tess, but Hot Danish is going well at the 300. Eskimo Queen trying to slip up on the inside with Deloraine. Still Hot Danish in front inside the 200. Gallant Tess on the outside tries hard with Eskimo Queen and Deloraine. Hot Danish tackled by Eskimo Queen. Eskimo Queen hit the front, and Eskimo Queen wins the Coolmore. Edged out Hot Danish. Photo third, Deloraine or Gallant Tess, who was very brave down to the post. And then came Like Me Wild, Mimi LeBrock, followed by Litter. And then we got Lectrice and Translate. And then came Occurrence, who was never in the hunt, followed by Lancaster Park, November Flight, and Dana Sierra was last in.
The money was right. Eskimo Queen, the Queensland Oaks winner from last year, and wasn't Mark Zara ecstatic as he crossed the line? Mike Moroney, the winning trainer, and he brought this mare through on the...
Yeah, that's right. Look, it's good to see her back in the winner's circle because she's a quality mare. And look, her run on the Cox Plate was good. She ran sixth after what happened to her in the Caulfield Cup when she flipped over the barrier and that. So just good to see her back to her best because it's good for the owners because they've held on in there when things are gone. She's always had good gate speed. Probably the only time she's missed it was first up at Flemington this time, and Melbourne Cup she's a bit slow to move, but usually she beats them out and has got a lot of gate speed.
What do we do now with it, Mike, for the rest of the Sydney Carnival?
Well, look, we've got on the donkey.
Well, she was already a Group 1 winner of the Queensland Oaks, and she now wins the Group 1 coveted Coolmore Classic. She only cost $2,500 originally at a weanling sale, $10,000 as a yearling, $20,000 ready to run. And Mark Zahra, terrific performance by Mark. Of course, we know from the Melbourne.
Seem to always have a smile on their face whether they're winning or losing.
Some terrific performances here. Hot Danish on the speed. Mark was good, but Gallant Tess, what about it?
Yeah, terrific run. She was wide facing the breeze, no cover all the way. The beaten by
a pretty ordinary performance last time out, and you've run into heavy ground as well. What do you put the form reversal down to?
Well, she drew the outside barrier at Canterbury, and you know it's a tough sort of track.
Yes,
and
Canterbury is.
You know, she flew the gates, but was going to get caught wide, so we had to come back on her. And then Mark just said that when he said go on her, she just shortened up her action as if she was feeling the very, very firm track that day.
How much difference?
Be announced tomorrow morning officially, but it will be either half or a kilo going into the Doncaster. So if that either of those are half or a kilo, Mark Zahra would be able to ride Eskimo Queen next week.
Going to help Mark, but probably not us.
Yeah, exactly. It's starting to look like a. Well, it's starting to look like a winnable Doncaster if we have a look at the market, because you know, you got Weekend Hustler who's not running now, and then you got the mares here, Forensics and Hot Danish.
Well, she lost no fans.
Serious speed.
Hot Danish. She lost no fans.
Well, she was stranded in front there, wasn't she? And she's a better chaser. Yeah. And look, no fault of Tim Clark, because nothing wanted to lead. He took a Queen races at Hawkesbury on Thursday night. Bullet.
Yeah. Is All Silent going to get a run?
Yeah, yes, he'll get a run now. He got penalised. So there's a couple of up and comers there. It's going to be an even Doncaster without a stand.
Good chance as well through the day. Race 2, that's in the TJ Smith at Randwick. The Carbine Club Stakes, equal favourites now. Electromotif and Cravings at $4 each. Electromotif is
first race here, and they all said the last 200 metres is very, very, very heavy. They said the last 200 metres, Caroline's very heavy. So
right on start time here for the Quasar Construction Carbine Club Stakes. Here's Mark for the call.
Thank you, Caroline. They're loading up here. Electromotive is riderless behind the stalls. About 6 or 7 to come forward for the run. No sign of a start as yet. Now they're ready. Racing in the Carbine Club. Druid and I've Got Talent both missed the start. Looks like Electromotive's come out slowly again today as well. And in fact, he's gone back to last of all. Rockwood came out of the stalls humming, and he's one of the leaders with Chamber. And there's Tagus going around the outside. Just in behind them, Road to Rock. And then come what Druid's on the outside. And Electromotive is still last. But they are starting to pack up now. Only about 6 or 7 lengths covering the entire field. And Rockwood led by a half a length on Tagus, and then came running to win on the outside. Chambers sneaking up on the rail, and then Road to Rock. Cravings was next from Eagle Rock, and further back was I'm a Toff. Heading up for the judge now, a little over 400 to go, and Chamber went through to join Rockwood. Running to win coming down the outside, so too is Tagus, and now we've got Cravings starting to run on strongly with Eagle Rock. Road to Rock's getting a split near the inside, plenty of chances. It's still Rockwood in front. Road to Rock's coming through, and then running to win, and Cravings on the outside. Road to Rock took the lead with 100 metres to go. Road to Rock took over from Rockwood, and Road to Rock wins it. Beat Rockwood. Running to win got third, and then Cravings followed by Chamber. Eagle Rock was next, and then came back behind them I've Got Talent. Electromotive was never in the hunt at any stage from latest Flame, and then Druid.
37.48 the last 600 metres, and none of the back markers were able to make up any ground. They absolutely walked home and up in the front.
In for the Doncaster, not to be, but Road to Rock for Anthony Cummings and Costa Lago Colt. Too good. He'd been chasing the good ones. He got back in grade yesterday and wins, and may back up next week in the Frank Pack-Up Plate.
Yeah, look, he went good. A couple of horses went, Electromotive went awful.
Yep.
Got back the last and did nothing. They didn't go that hard, and I think Bossy's ride on Running to Win was actually good. At least he come up 3 deep and put his horse into the race. A couple of horses back in the field.
This horse had been thrown in the deep end a little bit by Anthony Cummings, but went into this race as a maiden and come out as a very promising racehorse. Can't say much about the others. Rockwood had his chance. He dictated in front when the pace slowed. The favourite Electromotive went back in a slowly run race. Didn't seem to handle the going. He was awful, but forgivable.
Okay. The first two go to the Frank Packer Plate next week, and Running to Win goes.
Start time.
Number 1, Laser Sharp, $14 a spot on the mark. No Wine, No Song, $4 out to $5 here on track. The $3 and $4 on track. Your favourite's Reggie. Little Reggie, the wet tracker. $4.40 with the bookmakers, $4.70 the tote, 30 cents of value. Number 9, Tales of Triomphe at $31.
And the next two winners, Road to Rock and Esperante, just cutting through a little bit closer towards the inside. Probably the preferred going looks to be about 5 or 6 off the rail. Track my opener. And they're off and racing. Resolution came out a little bit slowly, and Tales of Triumph stayed in the stalls and missed it by about 4 or 5. And on settling down here, it's Cephalou rolling forward to take the lead. Led from Laser Sharp, who's right up there with No Wine, No Song, and Sky Biscuit was out of the stalls well. He's in the first couple, followed by Manipuri, who's starting to make up some ground into fifth spot, but 3 wall. Well, Cefalou's come back to them very quickly, and Laser Sharp has rushed up on the outside and put its head in front. Has he got there too early? It's Laser Sharp from Cephalou. Sky Biscuit comes out after the leaders quickly, and then came No Wine, No Song. Manipuri was next from Taken at the Flood. Sunday Adjure coming around the outside from Sir James, and he's trying to get Reggie right to the outside from Zatiro. Laser Sharp led up for home from Sky Biscuit in the centre, and No Wine, No Song chimes in on the outside. 2 or 3 lengths to Sir James, and Reggie is starting to come right down the outside. It's No Wine, No Song hitting the front inside the 200 for Oliver. Kicked nicely clear now with about 150 metres to go, and it's all No Wine, No Song, and No Wine, No Song wins 2 chairmans, goes on to win it from Sky Biscuit. Photo third. That's between Resolution and Reggie, and then came Lang running on from the back from Exonite and Tales of Triumph.
No Wine, No Song, 2 chairman's handicaps in a row. Damien Oliver on board for Kevin Moses for some of these horses. No Wine, No Song, looking at the English interims, $4.40, $1.80, Sky Biscuit $3.90, and Resolution.
In the 4:40, brilliant ride by Oliver. First horse to win the chairman's in consecutive years. Third in the Cup last year. He's going to be hard to beat this year. Sky Biscuit, well, the fairy...
To get him rolling, he gets up there, and then he just grinds you into the ground. Good ride there yesterday, Ollie, and he'll nearly win the Sydney Cup. He's the top pick at this month.
Favourite. 4.6 over Pentathon, $7, not there yesterday. The Fuzz and Red Lord coming off horrible runs at $9. Kenny Tyrone going in for his 6th Sydney.
Sort of thinking for the Sydney Cup, either he'll win it, or you'll get one of those bolters races where anything can win it. You know, the rest of them behind him have done nothing to say to me that any one of them is a hot chance in the race. They're just all. There's a big bunch going over the line.
Let's have a look at the market. Well, no, they're there. That's the right favourite. That's the right second favourite. Red Lord or the Fuzz, fair income. If one of these 2 horses win it, you want to burn the grandstand down because they were beaten 22 lengths the other day.
What are you talking about? Burn our grandstand
I told you
down?
last week.
Well, it's coming down anyway.
He's got a trial. The Fuzz has got a trial.
The first of the Group 1s of the day. This is the Inglis Sires Produce Stakes and the return bout between the Golden Slipper 1-2 in Sebring Von Costa de Hero. I don't know if you can see behind me, but the Sebring owners are out in force with their purple and white stars, the Star Thoroughbreds colours, and they're in
the tote. That's skinny. A half point longer on track at $2.30. Von Costa, $3.70 is comparable.
Costa de Hero
to take its spot
in contest. Mark, which way are you leaning?
Secret, the first one to take its spot. So Sebring very short on the tote at $2.10. And let's see how Sebring's jumped away. He's jumped away pretty well, in fact, and he's up vying for the lead. What a difference 7 days makes. And Sebring's right up there with Samantha Miss and Love and Kisses, followed by Fury. Back in behind them next is Glow Lamp, followed by Von Costa de Hero. He's going forward about on Sebring, goes up to second, but the leader is Love and Kisses. So it's the filly in front by 3/4 on Sebring. Fury is third, and then we've got Samantha Miss. Von Costa de Hero strides up wide without cover. Back over on the inside is Glow Lamp, followed by Dewporth, and then came Rhino Chaser coming into it from Dubai to Sydney Soho Secret, and back last of all is Delta Girl. They're on the swing for home, and Love and Kisses led by a length on Sebring. Von Costa de Hero striding up into third, and then Samantha Miss, followed by Fury, and further back behind them Dewporth. It's Love and Kisses in front. Sebring comes up to challenge on the outside, about to breathe down its neck. Von Costa de Hero's flat, he can't sprint, and Sebring took over, raced away from in second spot Love and Kisses, and then Samantha Miss getting up on the inside, but Sebring looks set for victory. Sebring punched out to the line. Blake Shin gets his Group 1, and Sebring wins it from Samantha Miss and Love and Kisses. And then we've got Glow Lamp running on from Dewporth, further back behind them Soho Secret, and then came Fury. Von Costa de Hero didn't come on from Rhino Chaser. Dubai to Sydney, and last in was Delta Girl.
Congratulations to Blake Shin. He sat out the Golden Slipper through suspension, but he has his Group 1 on this horse he calls his own Seabiscuit, Sebring.
Last year, Maurice was able to be the champion 2-year-old with not winning the 3. This horse can win the 3.
Oh, he's champion 2-year-old. There's no two ways about it. This is the most dominant male you've seen in Australia for a long, long time. You know,
yeah, it was great. You know, the owners were terrific, you know, through that period where I couldn't ride the horse. They knew I'd be down, but they lifted my spirits, saying that I'd be on him this week. He trained terrific on the track and he really done well. And
21.30, Samantha Miss 3.30, Love and Kisses 3.70, Quinella 15.4.
From Dewporth.
What a horse, what a performance and what a training effort by Gai Waterhouse. 5 starts, 5 wins, champion 2-year-old already. Lock, stock and barrel, $2.60 favourite. Samantha Miss, good. Love and Kisses, good. Von Costa, ordinary, but let's just concentrate on this very good 2-year-old, Rich.
Well, Clarkie, in racing it's all about learning. Both you and I didn't like Sebring at all in the Golden Slipper. You learnt your lesson. You tipped him in the size produce. You're even wearing the tie, trying to keep sweet with the star. I mentioned it about 15 times. So, of the last 6 Golden Slippers, that means his 18 place getters, 12 of those have backed up into the size produce. 6 have been trained by Gai Waterhouse. She's had 4 winners. One's run second, which was Maurice, and one was unplaced. How funny. That means there's been 6 other horses from other trainers. And the best they've been able to finish is 6th in the size produce. Geez, it speaks volume for Gai Waterhouse as a trainer.
Well, here is Gai.
He just makes a little mistake at the start. He can come from behind, and
I reckon the slipper did take a bit out of him. I don't think he was as good yesterday as he was in the slipper.
It was a funny track yesterday.
I know, but he's just that much better than them that he can be maybe slightly off his top and still beating those horses quite comfortably. And, you know, Von Costa, the hero, he probably didn't live up to his slipper run, but he had a pretty tough, you know, tough course. He didn't get any favours in the run.
I think he's a horse that's going. He looks a 3-year-old, and he looks like a horse that wants speed on. They slowed. They looked at the sectionals of this race. They went out in 10-9 the first filling. He says hello. And then they just slowed it right off. 12, 12, 12. You know?
I think it took something out of both those horses, the slipper, and I think it probably affected Von Costa a bit more than it affected Sebring.
I'm not sure. I thought it was just run-of-the-race stuff that advantaged Sebring because he can run off his speed, and the other horse just too much has to go right with the back marker. I think there's a horse here for the spring, Dewporth. I think he'll make it later on.
Yeah, he will.
It's amazing, isn't it, when Gai took the blinkers off Sebring.
Well, this year, $1.8 million up for grabs for these horses going round. Won the Rosehill Guineas, he's $6.70 on the tote. On course, he's around $7. Latorio, $4.20 on course. He opened up at $3.50. They've just wound him out a little bit on course. Largo Lad, of course, with David Hayes now, $5. Hasn't budged in any of the 50, but a definite market mover. Number 7, Largo Lad.
Yeah, look, my director just told me that.
So they're finding out favouritism. Latorio at $4 on the tote, Largo Lad at $4.50, and then we've got Dealer Principle, who's firmed a half a point, 7 into $6.50 on track and a $6.80 on the tote. Now we've got a JC Australian Derby. Out for some assistance. Racing in the Derby, he's jumped fairly well. Dealer Principle, Steel Giant next to him seemed to get a little bit of a check, and Mufasa came out well and takes up the lead, joined by My Sweet Cookie, and Solo Flyer strides forward to join them. And then came Red Ruler just getting on heels and checking from Prince de Gaulle. King Dakar improves around the outside, and then came Dealer Principle. Latorio's up about midfield today, followed by Guillotine, but waits there more, and then came Steel Giant, followed by Largo Lad. He's in front of 4 runners, though. Of all. Down the back they go, and here goes Dealer Principle to race up and hit the lead. He was out wide, so he elects not to sit out there any longer, and he takes over now. So the Rosehill Guineas will at Dealer Principle has taken the lead from King Dakar and Solo Flyer back to 3rd. Then followed by Guillotine and Largo Lad, Imperator. Well back was Book of Kells, Nom de Jour, and Rios is back near the tail. They've got about 800 metres to go in the Derby, and Dealer Principle is taken on now on the outside by King Dakar. Solo Flyer is tracking them from My Sweet Cookie and Mufasa. Red Ruler starting to pull his way forward. Prince de Gaulle is buried away on the inside at the moment. Latorio's in the centre. Steel Giant takes off around the outside. Largo Lad tries to latch on as well as they come up towards the home turn. He's back on the inside behind a wall of horses as well as they start to pack up now with the leader as Dealer Principle. Solo Flyer on the inside from Mufasa. Red Ruler. King Dakar's had enough from Steel Giant. Guillotine trying to weave through, and Latorio's trying to get into the clear, and right along the inside is Nom de Jour. It's Red Ruler going up to Dealer Principle, and Nom de Jour got right along the fence here. It's the Kiwis fighting it out, but Nom de Jour has taken the shortcut on the inside from Red Ruler. It's Nom de Jour and Red Ruler fighting it out. Nom de Jour's a length in front, and Nom de Jour's holding Red Ruler. It's a Kiwi, Quinella. Latorio got 3rd, and then came
then Dealer Principle, followed by Guillotine, then Prince de Gaulle Solo Flyer, followed by Book of Kells, and then came Rios and King Dakar. Back behind them next we had, but wait, there's more. Largo Lad was never in the hunt from Steel Giant Imperial last.
Pedigree coming out on top there, that's for sure. This horse by Montjeu out of a Brisbane Cup winner, Prize Gem, and Murray Baker's done a great job to turn this horse around. 4th in the New Zealand Derby, and he's come out here today and he's relished the going this time around, and he's done that.
Gem, she won a Brisbane Cup. He's a real stayer, 6 months away from it, but you know, he's a pretty fair horse. He hadn't had much luck in a lot of his runs in New Zealand. Was meant to run on the Rosehill Guineas, had an elevated temperature the morning of the races, but Jeff Lloyd's been riding him, and he said to me, I think I can win the Derby. And I mean, he's a top rider. He said this horse gives him enormous feel.
When you missed that run, did you have to up the work to make sure your hair was fit?
We did up the work, but you know, pretty happy with him. You know, he's a genuine staying horse. You know.
You say 6 months away. There's a pretty useful race in 6 months in Melbourne. Is that where you're aiming?
Oh, well, let's get this one over and done with.
You've always come to Australia, Murray, with a decent horse. I mean, where do you rate this horse?
I think he's a handy horse. I think if the New Zealand Derby winner had been in this field, he'd have probably distanced him. C'est la Vive. He's real good, you know. And but this horse is a good stayer.
$32.20 and $8.10. 11 Red Rule at $10 and third. Number 2 Latorio at $1.80.
Followed by Guillotine, then Prince de Gaulle.
Nom de Jeu, brilliant ride. He's got a pedigree to stay 8 miles. He's by Montjeu, champion stayer of Europe, out of a Brisbane Cup winner in Prize Gem, which was trained by Murray Baker, who trains Nom de Jeu. Kiwis went 1-2. Latorio best of the Aussies home. Puts a big negative against the Aussie staying 3-year-olds this season. Kibbutz, of course, the Vic Derby winner, not there. But here's Jeff Lloyd. Rich just went round the top. Had to go round one.
And the same thing with Jeff Lloyd's mount, Nom de Jeu. When the gap came, he went bang. He was in the gap before you'd blinked your eyes. Prince de Gaulle probably didn't run the journey out. He got up on the inside of it and chased after the Kiwi. Latorio kept on running on, as you know he would. I thought Dealer Principle's run, you watch the replay. Brilliant. Geez, he went super. His first preparation, and he had to do a stack of work. There was a few suspensions come out of the race.
Oh, everyone's Purton and Larry Cassidy suspended. Jeff, we
fashion sort of English-type horse by Montjeu.
There's chances. Carolyn was hosting and got down to Nom de Jeu, and this is what Richie said. Was that a setback? I know I got it wrong last week with Sebring, a horse for the setback going to Group 1 race. I won't get it wrong with this horse. You can't win a Derby off, surely, 8 weeks between runs and a temperature that misses a vital lead-up run on April the 12th. No.
Yeah, if, look, the wet tracks are certainly a favour, but if it happens to win, I think Clarkie and I might do a three-legged race around the entire circuit following the last.
Billy Morton owns Nom de Jeu, and the last word goes to you, Billy.
Yes, I want to know when you're going to do it, and I think it was in the nude too, wasn't it?
Oh, please, I hope not. We're trying to get viewers on TV, and Billy.
Three-legged race.
Three-legged race, our calendar.
Yes, and I'm going to bet on you too.
I forgot I said that. Our calendar and B Clark up the straight next Saturday. Get the crowd for the AJC.
Kiwis.
Oh, yeah.
I've always been a big supporter of the Kiwis.
Oh, yeah.
and I think that they've done a magnificent job coming over here and winning the AJC Australian Derby, but I have to say...
I didn't, he's a super jockey, world class.
His record actually speaks for itself, doesn't it, Ronnie?
Oh,
Jeff Lloyd.
He's Jeff Lloyd.
Yeah.
Well, he's a marvellous jockey. There was I walked onto the track yesterday and a bloke grabbed me and he said, give you a tip, this Lloyd's been riding this thing work. He thinks it's a good thing. I said, mate, if you listen to jockeys' tips, you'll go broke. And how right was he? How right was he?
Murray, this is a great triumph for New Zealand because it's been a long time since the New Zealanders, brought a horse over specifically for a Group 1 and won one here in Sydney. I think it's been 5 years since that's happened. New Zealand racing, it's on a resurgence at the moment, isn't it? And it's good for Australian racing too.
Yes, it's terrific. It's just turned around in a year with tax relief and tax write-offs, and every meeting you go to's got a good feel, and it's just Jeff Lloyd had ridden them in quite a bit of work. Second time he got on him, he said, I think this horse can win the Derby. He gives me a real good feel.
So what happened to him in the New Zealand Derby?
Well, they had an inch of rain in the morning of the races, and he was a favourite. Red Bull was a second favourite. Neither of them handled the ground. He got a long way back. I think he was 14th on the bend, ran 4th.
But we had a heavy track there yesterday.
Different sort of going, Richard, though. Got very holding at Ellerslie. They couldn't get their feet out.
Oh, so it was sticky going.
Yeah, sticky going.
And not sticky there yesterday.
Yeah.
And no run.
He's a great supporter of New Zealand racing. Did you hear that? To all the folks watching Racing Retro in New Zealand?
A lot of Kiwis watch this show and they'll put their earmuffs on when Richard comes on.
Well, you've got to admit, your racing over the last 5 years has been crap, right? It has been just, your Group 1s have been like, you know, average Saturday races. But you have improved in the last 12 months, and that, you can't deny that.
There's been a huge resurgence in New Zealand racing. I think we'll be bringing listed winners over for your Group 1 soon.
Yeah. I'll provide boxes for you.
Maybe you'll provide a...
Coming up for you now, this is a fascinating contest here between two of our best sprinters of the last couple of years. We have Takeover Target, he's around $4. Apache Cat is the favourite, he's at $2.10, and you get further down.
6% solely on just TJ Smith Stakes. Mark Sheen, I like the Apache Cat. The punters have stepped in to take over Target. Your preference?
Prefer Apache Cat here, 1,200 metres. The TJ Smith. They're off now. Takeover Target jumped well. Magnus came out of the stalls very quickly today. Hurry Choice missed the start. She's a mile back settling down. And he'll let Takeover Target stride to the front early. Kicked away from Cent Percent and Magnus. Apache Cat drifting back is amazing. Starting to kick up along the rail. And then a couple of lengths to Hurry Choice and Reigning to Win. Takeover Target led, but he's out a little bit off the lead from Hurry Choice. And Reigning to Win is back last of all. Magnus slipped through on the inside to head Takeover Target. They're on the swing for home now. Cent Percent is still behind them, and Apache Cat starting to edge up around the outside. And then came Reigning to Win, followed by Is Amazing and Hurry Choice. Takeover Target has gone up to Magnus up the rise. 2 or 3 lengths to Apache Cat, but the champion raced to the front. Takeover Target, he got the better of Magnus. Now Reigning to Win and Apache Cat are starting to come after Takeover Target. Takeover Target, will his condition hold out? Apache Cat's just about got him. Apache Cat surges to the front with 50 to go, and the favourite kicks away and wins it well. Apache Cat wins it from either Reigning to Win or Takeover Target, who ran out of condition from Hurry Choice. And then Magnus, Cent Percent and Is Amazing was back last of all.
What a sensational TJ Smith, Apache Cat getting past Takeover Target. Of course, Takeover...
Done a super job. He got him right on. He kept coming. Reigning to Win just lost his momentum when he went for the gap in between Takeover Target, who was just drifting off a little bit. I'll tell you what, we may have heard a little bit more if he hadn't got second, but he has got second. 2-4-7-19, 2 Apache Cat, the best of the day on TVN. Corey Brown, $2 and $1.40. 4 Reigning to Win at $3.80. 1 Takeover.
Because he'd been to Doncaster Day the past 2 years, running the Doncaster, and there were only 2 flops in Sydney. You've worked him out now.
Yeah. Did you ever stop learning about horses? Like, the more you watched him early on, you swear he was a mile and a quarter horse, but a fresh 1,200 metre horse looks perfect.
Oh, absolutely. But exactly as you said, you never stop learning about them, and I think you ought to be a little bit open to experiment and see how it does work.
Of course, last spring we were talking, now, would you go to the Cox Plate with this horse or not? Now we're talking about just keeping him to 6 furlongs.
Yeah, well, look, I think it's everybody's dream to probably continue on and run in the Cox Plate, but certainly for him, even though he ran, I thought he ran well for him in the Cox Plate. It was a big job. He drew badly that day and did all the work and still hung on. But as it's from there, we just gradually kept sneaking back this way, and this is his...
He ran out of condition.
4 Group 1s, 14 wins from 28 starts. Only the good horses have records like that. 2.5 million in the bank. Reigning to Win. Huey Bowman copped the frightful ear bashing from John O'Shea for running second. Still would have run second. Takeover Target was fantastic. Greg, you talk about this horse.
Pretty much, trying to get in place for the BTC Cup on the 10th of May, and then we'll lead from that into the Doomben 10,000.
I'll chat more about him shortly, but here's Joe Janiak's done with Takeover Target, Rich. He turned him out beautifully yesterday. We knew he was above himself in condition, but gee, he ran well, didn't he?
Well, he's only been on the heavy track twice. He doesn't like them at all, but he just shows his class by still being there. He ran 3rd in the Oakley Plate when he looked gone at the 700 behind Schnitzel. I know he travelled yesterday, but when the pressure really came on the bog track, he just started to feel it. He never goes that well fresh. He needed that good hit out yesterday to go to Singapore and then on to England. But it wasn't no slouches beating. Like, it was Apache Cat. And I tell you what, if it was Racebury...
He's been the find of the season.
I reckon it'll be nearly 5.
He's a beauty, and the crowd love him. Everybody loves him. He always puts in a good performance. He operates on wet and dry. He operates in both directions. He is just about a bomb-proof sprinter. And don't underestimate the run of Takeover Target. His condition just gave out over the last 100 metres, and that was testament by the fact that Reigning to Win, who he had well beaten, was able to pick him up again. He was just getting a little bit tired. But you know what? I'd love to see both horses at the top of their game, fully fit. What a race it would be. We just didn't have it yesterday because one horse probably was at 95, 98% fitness and one was 100. But fully fit, he might have.
Yeah,
Ronnie, should he have come to the outside on Raining to win at the top of the straight?
Well, I've never seen a bloke cop a pay like Hugh Bowman cop yesterday off John O'Shea. He was ropeable, as John can be. And it's a high-pressure day, and I saw a few trainers go off at jockeys like I've never seen trainers go off before.
Looking forward to as well from Melbourne, the Doncaster, $1.8 million. The Emirates Doncaster handicap.
Casino Prince, $8.70 the tote, $11 on track, hasn't moved. German Chocolate, 60s in the 30s, $39 a bit of it. 2 points longer on track at $21. Number 9, All Silent, $18, 4 points shorter on track. Fillets, 60. Forensics, $7.90, a half point shorter on track. Gallant Test, $18 a spot on Hot Danish. Haven't they come for this? $6 to $4.80. And a Doncaster, sponsored by Emirates, 5 tenths, 30 cents of overs. Pinnacles, $59. You can get better than that here. 4 points shorter on track. And Triple Honour, $9 to $8.50. Second pick now on track.
Won it twice. You go further back to Pharaoh winning it a couple of times for Gay Waterhouse Skating. The list goes on. It's just a sensational race, and some of the best racehorses we've seen in the land have taken out the Emirates Doncaster handicap. 2 minutes from start time, and Hot Danish at the moment, she's just stayed on that $4 start.
Racing now, Great Dispatch bar Forensics. She was a little bit slow out of the stalls. Hot Danish and Just Mambo began very quickly, and there goes Fillets up to attack for the lead as well, followed by German Chocolate, and driving through in the centre there's another one picking up some ground at Eskimo Queen. Then came Sniper's Bullet, followed by Thessio's on the improve. Triple Honour settling off the speed, followed by Friday Creek, and then by Serious Speed. Forensics back third last, followed by Molotov, and Pinnacles whips them in. They're down the side of the track, and Just Mambo on the inside, and Thessio. They're going head and head in front from German Chocolate and Fillets, and Hot Danish is slipping up on the rail into fifth spot. Behind them, Eskimo Queen. Sniper's Bullet is right off the track. He'd be about 5 wide. Triple Honour in the centre, followed by Friday Creek, and then came marching back in behind them. Next to circling the field is Mentality. He's taking off, coming to the bend. Casino Prince looks for a run from Valedictum, and then came Gallant Tess, who's going up near the inside. They swing for home in the Doncaster, and Just Mambo led. Hot Danish is slipping up on the inside to challenge, followed by down the outside Thessio and German Chocolate. Sniper's Bullet and marching. It's Hot Danish getting to the lead now. Took over from Just Mambo, German Chocolate, Sniper's Bullet, and Triple Honour has come right through in the centre for Glenn Boss and taken the lead, and the Doncaster's over. Triple Honour has raced away. Casino Prince is coming out of the pack late. Triple Honour gets a little bit tired, but he wins it. Triple Honour held on to beat Casino Prince, and Pinnacles got third, and then Sniper's Bullet followed by Eskimo Queen and Serious Speed, and then we've got Valedictum and marching. Hot Danish knocked up from Thessio, and then came All Silent, followed by Molotov and German Chocolate. Then came Fillets, followed by Just Mambo, Gallant Tess. Well back behind them next we had Friday Creek from Mentality, Mega Tick, and Forensics has finished next to last.
3 in a row for Glenn Boss on Triple Honour for Chris Waller. What a great job he's done with this horse. Glenn Boss too late. Triple Honour, Glenn Boss, 3 Doncasters in a row.
I think we have hold this now, because otherwise you're going to explode, Richie Callender. Chris, congratulations, a first Group 1, an important milestone and a terrific career so far.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant, Bruce, and yeah, thanks to all the support I've had, and unbelievable. Just, yeah, it hasn't sunk in yet, obviously, but it's going to be a big night.
I'm sure it will.
Sure he got here. He's a horse that needs still 3 to 6 months, and we've managed to get him here today, and he's done the job.
Did you put a finger on what went wrong last time?
Not really, just over-raced. Maybe we had him a bit fresh into a 1400-metre race. And
Doncaster, number 20, Triple Honour. $8.40 and $3. 3 Casino Prince at $3. 17 Pinnacles, $14.30. The Quinella 35.
But Matt, in a row.
Yeah, this should be all about Chris Waller, really. You know, obviously I'll go mad and be stupid, but honestly, this should go back to Chris Waller. What a, you know, this will be the one that makes him, I think. As for history, will always say 3-year-olds lightweights with a good record at the mile here always run top 4.
An absolute sweet run.
Bullet followed by Eskimo Queen and Serious.
Well, $9 into $7.50 for Triple Honour. $50,000 purchase by Honours List. Where is he now? Beats the tragically unlucky Casino Prince, but that's racing, and Pinnacles from last gets third. We go to the overhead shot here, and you can see Pinnacle's back last, and Richie, you can see Casino Prince just strung up between horses, and Boss about to dive through on Triple Honour.
Look, Boss is a superstar. He's a Group 1 winning rider. That's why he's ridden so many Group 1 winners. And to get a jockey, look at that narrow gap, and he just put straight through. The bonus is the horse has only got 51, and the horse was able to sprint quickly before the gap closed, and that was the secret for Triple Honour winning. He got a little bit tired late. Casino Prince, no doubt, he was a tad unlucky. But on the other hand, the owners of Casino Prince, if they want to win the Doncaster, they're going to hand back the Chipping Norton Trophy from 4 weeks ago, when Honour and Aurora almost fell, and Tuesday Joy should have won the race easy. Racing's about luck, and you make your own luck. Triple Honour made his luck yesterday.
Chris, you had to turn this horse around, quickly sort out Glenn Boss to help this resurrection of the horse.
Yeah, he was in the back of my mind when I knew he had such a light weight, but we were never guaranteed a start. But he was well down on the list of entry, but fortunately we got a run. And
well, one bloke not singing yesterday was Damien Oliver after being beaten on the Casino Prince. So Damien didn't want to talk much about the disappointments he had of not winning the Doncaster. Shane Dye, they finished third on Pinnacles. Here's the beaten jockeys from the Doncaster.
Very good run. I decided to ride him back. He's a sprinter more or less, and there was a query at the mile, so we dropped him out and got held up at the 250, 300. If he got clear, he would have made it interesting. But in say that, he probably hit the line better because he was held up.
The barrier was no help, and soft track just took away a turn of foot, but on the line she was pretty strong. Worked herself and lobbed into a good spot. Just when I let her off the bridle today, she seemed to flounder in the going and didn't really appreciate the soft track today. Sure she'll be better on top of the ground, and you'll see her in the big races come spring.
She had a good position. Right.
What were you thinking then?
Well, I was following the favourite, Hot Danish, and when Timmy had given her a beautiful ride, so I got her tracked up behind him, and momentarily I thought, well, she was going to kick, and then she didn't, and she wobbled around a bit and just give me about 6 inches of room, and my bloke was, I'd lapped the horse. As soon as I put his head there and then he's got his shoulders into it, he just exploded, and like a wedge, he just split them apart, and his sprint was actually quite unbelievable. He put 3 lengths on some horses there very, very quickly, and that's where he won the race.
That's what concerns me, Glenn. Is he a genuine miler, or perhaps next time with development, is he going to be better at the genuine sprinter distance?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a sprinter miler. He's just got to learn to probably just relax a little bit more on the run. Obviously, the second horse looks like it should have just won and won clearly, but I think as this horse gets heavy and develops and gets a bit stronger, I think he'll become a more of a serious sprinter than he will a miler.
Now, the owners of the Beaten Brigade.
Yeah, look, I've never seen a better thing beat in a big race than Casino Prince.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it just didn't happen for him at the two, between the 300 and the 100.
Yep. It was a great run. He's in fabulous form.
Is he? What?
Yeah.
He's not really a wet tracker, so he's absolutely flying at the moment. I don't know whether he goes to the paddock or backs up next week. And look, the third horse was fantastic as well. Pinnacles and Sniper's Bullet did a good job. And
it was a gutsy ride. And
having a look at these runners at the moment, Bella Cantata, $2.90 in favourite. They opened her at $2.60. Royale Harmony, $3.20 out to $3.50.
Darren only ever won 2 races. Darren Beeman's been on both times. Royal Harmony, $3.80 solid. Rays, $6 and solid, got out to $6.50. Bella Cantata's the one the punters have stepped into. $2.90 into $2.50, heavily back.
Racing, favourite Bella Cantata broke OK. Royal Emergent to the inside, and Rays and All Black Miss and 2 Choosy right up there as well. And Dandy Top Winners firing across from the outside stall. It's All Black Miss putting its head in front, led from 2 Choosy. Bella Cantata rushes up around the outside to second or third now. Miss followed by 2 Choosy. 2 lengths to Rays on the outside of Royal Emerger from Dandy Top Win. Over on the inside is NRL, 2 lengths to Hey Pretty Katie. Silk and Appeal second last, and its stablemate Apasu back with it. Bella Cantata took over again clearly now as they run to the 550, led by a neck on Zephyria. Royal Harmony, Brown's popped out now, and he's starting to edge up around the outside. All Black Misses going up near the inside. Razors right behind them looking for a run. 2 Choosies hard ridden from Dandy Top Win. Bella Cantata, it's flat to the boards as Royal Harmony comes up and takes takes over. Royal Harmony shot for home now. Ray's on the outside, looks a big danger. Dandy Topwind's trying to wind up. It's Ray's quickly racing to the lead, 200 to go. Dandy Topwind comes after it. Royal Harmony's a spent force, but Ray's is handling the ground beautifully. The full sister to last year's Oaks winner, and that is Rena's Lady, and Ray's is coming right on with the job and making a mess of them, and wins it by about 5 lengths on Dandy Topwind. Back behind them, Hey Pretty Katie, followed by NRL Silk and Appeal, and then came Royal Harmony, then 2 Choosy All Black Miss from Apasoo. Well back behind them next, Royal Emerger, Zephyria, and the favourite Bella Cantata has run last of all.
Could be 2 in a row for this family. Ray's the full sister to Rena's Lady, who won the Adrian Knox last year, then went on and won the AJC Oaks, and gee, that was a turnaround in performance from last week, but she's certain this time round. And Rena's Lady, 670, 220, 330 Dandy Topwind, and 330 also for Hey Pretty Katie.
A lucky last to the Adrian Knox, 6.5 lengths by 4 3/4.
Yeah, but not Ray's. Did exactly what her sister did last year, but she would go on and win the Oaks. Will this filly do the same thing? Well, Wednesday will tell us. 6.5 lengths over the place getters here. Bella Cantata pulled up distressed, so the punters 290 to 250, and Royal Harmony perfect run, second fave, ordinary. I don't know, Rich, there's only one horse out of that race that can win the Oaks.
Yeah, that's the winner, Ray. She went. What happened last week? I was talking to the cow at the Doncaster last night. Hope you did, Charles.
Well, even Joe Pride said he couldn't work it out.
She went awful. I declared her last week. Declared her and bet up on a Clarkie. Yesterday, I watched. I must admit, I didn't feel well. But look, she's back in the mix now. She's back in the mix. Jay Forward. You got to get that to get Darren Beeman off to get her back on song. Look, Jay rode her a treat. He's ridden her before. He won the maiden honour. The only thing that worries me is I think that top one's a moral. I'm still trying to work out how she's $3.80.
That big odds. We'll be talking to Pat Island shortly about Zarita's chance in the Oaks. Heavenly Glow and Ray's there, but. Rathsala face, the Bella Cantata won't be going.
Well, if Bella Cantata wins
behind Heavenly Glow, look, that looks impressive. I'm not so sure it was as impressive.
That was impressive.
What?
You know, for that class of race.
You know what they run their last 600?
I know they
40 seconds. 40 seconds they run their last 600.
For that race on a soft track, that was impressive.
Please.
I'm not saying she's going to go on and win
she's got a rough hope. She's got a rough hope in the Oaks. Honestly.
What was the horse that beat her last week?
Heavenly Glow. Only beat her about 8 lengths. Look, these are. I don't like to say it. The 2 favourites.
Go on, say it.
They're awful. Their maiden is, just behind there.
She couldn't have been.
The 2 favourites were terrible here. Gay's horse, I don't know what happened there.
Bella Cantata.
And Royal Harmony loomed up, and it was the same collapse. Maybe it was the track.
Maybe it was.
I'll tell you one thing about this track. It didn't get any better. It got worse as the day went on, and the time suggested that.
Well, what do you expect?
Ronnie, is this...
We're going Swiss.
Australian Oaks for the fillies over the 2,400 metres. Zarita is the favourite, of course, coming off a South Australian Derby win. We've got 4 Oaks winners in the race, and 2 of them have won Derbies as well, including Grand Journey won the Western Australian Derby. But Zarita there is the top of the market, Rich.
Yeah, I think she's nice side. It's $3.10. She's $3.40 here on track. Number 2
was the winner before that. Serenade Rose, Dazelle. You go back through some wonderful mares such as Triscay, Surround, Leilani, back to Light Fingers. Sensational race for these 3-year-old fillies who go on. New Zealand and Non de Jure do it in the Derby for the Colts and Geldings. Let's see if Boundless can do it here. But at the moment, $3.40. Zarita is the favourite.
And coming out of the stalls a little bit slowly, Pentura. Zarita was only fairly away today. She's trying to pick up some ground now. All Black Miss went to the lead from Grand Journey, and then came Galileo's Daughter, who's cut across and has got its head in front, but it's out a little bit wide, followed by Rays and Queen of Queens. And Zarita, after dwelling slightly at the start's in a pretty awkward spot at the moment, out 3 and 4 wide as they go into the first bend. And then came Osbred Rose, followed by Heavenly Glow. Boundless is back and wide, followed by Dandy Topwind. Miss Mariners of all. The leader is All Black Miss, 900 to go, ensuring a solid tempo in the Oaks by 3 or 4 lengths. Boundless is tracking in second, Miss Marin next, followed by Zarita on the inside, and Charles is already at work on her. And then came Pentura, followed by Rays and Galileo's Daughter. Heavenly Glow biding its time in midfield. And then came Queen of Queens. Further back was Grand Journey. Well back behind them, Marjorie, Osbred Rose, and last is Dandy Topwind. It's All Black Miss, foot to the floor as they come to the turn by 5 or 6 lengths on Boundless, who has to do the chasing. Then came Miss Marin going up on the rail as Rays, followed by Pentura, Zarita. I doubt if it could win. It's already under the stick from Queen of Queens. And Heavenly Glow is starting to wind up down the outside now. It's starting to put in the big ones, Heavenly Glow. Boundless took the lead. Heavenly Glow asked by Thompson now is chiming in on the outside, and then came Penture and Galileo's Daughter. Boundless just led. Heavenly Glow looms up on the outside, sticks the bib in front, and Heavenly Glow and Boundless go to the line, but Heavenly Glow's too good. And Robert Thompson gets the Group 1 Oaks from Boundless. Galileo's Daughter third, and then Queen of Queens and Penture, followed by Miss Marin. Well back behind them next, Dandy Top wins. Zarita was beaten a long way from home, and then we've got in
4.76 the official time here after the Oaks. Heavenly Glow, English Interims, $4.90, $1.90, $2 for Boundless, the Kiwi.
She was a drifting favourite at Canterbury in a four-horse field. They thinking that she was a dry tracker. She won on the wet track that day. She won the Group 1 Arrowfield, and she backed it up. Great performance and great ride, Robert Thompson. Two super rides. The second horse, no doubt, the filly Boundless. She was unlucky. Nothing went her way. Her effort was unbelievable. Zarita, don't give up on her.
No.
She'd had enough.
No, certainly not. All right, that was a great...
Thompson, Heavenly Glow, just beating... Well, Boundless' run was good too, I have to say.
Oh, look, take nothing away from the winner. She deserved to win, but...
I think she got left in front a little early, Boundless. I think she got to the front a bit earlier than they would have liked.
Well, that's a tremendous performance. That might be the Celt Capital winner there.
Maybe.
Boundless. She's a very, very good filly. She carted the field up to the tearaway.
Yep.
The other filly launched at her, and she had the hide to fight.
No, it's a good filly.
Terrific here. With late money now for Moa Tyres. Once it got to 4-1 on track, they've taken that. It's been fairly short on the tote, $4.20 most of the way through. Rockwood at $4.10. That may trim up. Going quicker now on Mission Critical, trying to break their hearts at the 800 metres. It's starting to pour the pace on, led by about 2.5 to 3 on Rockwood. Then Jabal Tarek, followed by Invula. Moa Tyres is back on the inside. It'll be suited by this solid tempo. There's another one on the outside of it as they come to the turn now at Circle of Fame. Eldana's flat. And then came Nine Dragons, Bugsy, Two Shoes, Epsom Downs. I've got Talent and Varden Flyer. Mission Critical in front, just coming away from the rail slightly as they turn by 2.5. Rockwood second, followed by Invula. Jabal Tarek is down near the inside, and then came Moa Tyres, who's hooked to the centre of the track and starting to wind up. Mission Critical in front. Rockwood's just about on terms now. Then came Invula. Jabal Tarek up on the inside, and Moa Tyres is coming as well. Plenty of chances here. Mission Critical, Rockwood, Invula, and Moa Tyres is starting to come on the outside. Rockwood stuck its head in front, got the lead, and Rockwood wins it. Beat Moa Tyres. Invula possibly third in front of Mission Critical, and then Jabal Tarek followed by Circle of Fame. Back
the last 636.39. Rockwood, the English Interim Dividends, $361.78. Moa Tyres, $2.
And then Jabal Tarek followed by...
I'll be honest, at the 500 I was the first one to say, and I think a few of us said it, Rockwood gone. The funny thing is, Nash Cirillo thought the same thing. He rode Rockwood. Geez, it was a good, tough effort. Mission Critical set a very good speed. I thought Moa Tyres was just going to let down at the furlong and go, see you later. He's just a big baby. He doesn't know what racing's all about, but I tell you what, they're all good horses. If I could own one, Moa Tyres, and I tell you what, he might be a Queensland Derby horse. Bart ran the Quinella last year.
And Moa Tyres still, though, a maiden. Let's go to...
He chased Mission Critical all the way. I think, oh, look at these two are absolute sitting shots for this Moa Tyres with my money on it down the outside here. But, look, take nothing away from the winner. That's a good, tough win. I still like this second horse. I think he's going to be a force in Queensland.
Will he go to the Derby up there, you think?
Well, he's got timing about him. I know he's still a maiden horse, but I think what was against him yesterday was a couple of unlucky runs where he's been held up in pockets, not having a hard...
You were behind Rockwood, but...
These are Queensland Derby types for sure.
Probably. Now, I mean, the next...
Stakes and Sebring, I tell you what, he looks magnificent here in the yard. He's won the Golden Slippery, won the Sire's Produce, and currently he is $1.90 on course.
Yeah, he's odds on, but he's the one to beat. Sebring won. What about these on the tote? What about the last one in Mill?
Half, and there is a nibble for Glow Lamp down at the bottom, got to double figures and has come in a point. More money now for All American. So it's in racing now, and Sebring's only jumped fairly, but he's starting to muster speed now. They're going pretty slowly. They've jumped out and walked, and Samantha Miss and Sebring are going forward with Rebel Raider. Glow Lamp was the best in stride, but he's looking for a trail on it, followed by All American, and then came Like Father, Like Son, Wembley, and he's going to let Rhino Chaser just flop out at the rear of the field today. On settling down at the end of 400 metres, Samantha Miss on the inside and Sebring on the outside. They're going head and head, and he's pressing forward on Sebring now. He wants... Well, they're letting this favourite get away with some pretty cheap sectionals in front here. Sebring, he crossed over and he's under no pressure at the moment. He's 3/4 in front. He's looking for the Triple Crown today. He's won the Golden Slipper and also the Sires. So the third backup week in a row here, leading from Samantha Miss in second spot. Glow Lamps come off the rail. Then Rebel Raider, Rhino Chaser saving ground on the inside. All Americans in an awkward spot who's been shuffled back near last. Then Like Father, Like Son. And Wembley's gone up on the inside, turning for home now. And Sebring in front, lead from Samantha Miss, coming at it on the outside from Rhino Chaser and Glow Lamp. All American further back, he's not doing enough for mine, and it's Sebring in front, holding Samantha Miss, and then came Glow Lamp, who's coming up on the inside. Shin starts to get busy now on Sebring. Samantha Miss tries hard on the outside, it's closing the gap. Samantha Miss is coming at Sebring, and right on the line, it's above her. Samantha Miss maybe from Sebring. It might be Samantha Miss, but it is a photo. Not sure for third. We've got Glow Lamp, Rhino Chaser and Wembley, and then Like Father, Like Son, Rebel Raider, and All American last of all.
Oh, that's very close. Did the filly on the outside get her head down right on the line?
Off his back, the filly sat outside, and Ronnie Krogan, well, he's just come back from a little cruise around Australia. Oh, she's won easy. She's won easy. The photo, you couldn't believe it was so close. Chris Lees, Bruce Clark's about to catch up with Chris.
A thrill for you with Ron Krogan, who's been a long-time supporter of the family.
He's been terrific to me. He's given me an opportunity with some expensive yearlings, and I think we repaid him today.
Sure did.
Certainly the type to go on to the Oaks. Reduced choice. Of course, he had Amelia's Dream going for the slipper. She didn't get there, but he's had Samantha Miss win the Champagne Stakes. The final leg of the Triple Crown. She's out of million.
It might
well,
be
the $1.5 million horse got there in the last stride to nail Sebring, who was brave and gallant trying to complete the Triple Crown, but he's the champion 2-year-old of the year. Glow Lamp's okay also, but Huey, you've...
I think so. She's bred to be a staying 3-year-old, so look, she out of as a Bill mare, and obviously by the great Redoubt's choice, and I think we're going to hear a lot more of her next year.
Very strong filly here, and she was beaten, but she rallied because she's strong, and she's not bred to be a 2-year-old. She doesn't look like a 2-year-old, and she's come out a Group 1 winner. I think the sky's the limit for her at 3. Chris?
Yeah, you're right, Ron. All along she's just showed us enough that we'd persevere as a 2-year-old, but she's got that classic look about her. So, yeah, we're hopeful of a good 3-year-old.
Now, I was watching Sebring here, and I thought, now that you've got to the front, it'd be very hard to get past him. You didn't look like you were going to get him. You looked like you were going to get close to him, but he was going to hold you. And then just the last 5 strides, she lifted enough to get over. She ended up beating him by about a head, full head, which was a bit deceptive on that. But she is an expensive yearling, and she's performed really well as a 2-year-old. How much did you pay for her?
We paid $1.5 million.
$1.5 million. She's worth every bit and a lot more now.
The relaxed filly, and she does everything right, and she can put herself on the speed and stay. Well, she's got a great future.
So what did you...
It's still very hard to get a Group 1 winner.
I wouldn't take anything away from Sebring either. He didn't weaken. I was watching him. He was maintaining his distance from the other horses. Your filly had to lift to beat him.
For sure.
And I don't think he lost any admirers whatsoever yesterday, Sebring.
McKinnon, Shipping Norton, Queen Elizabeth and Ranvet Stakes, and this is his farewell here today. And one thing, win, lose or draw, he'll be giving 50 into $5.50. She's a gallant little filly. The way she won the Hobartville Stakes, just such a tenacious sort of a type of a girl.
And the stewards just informed us that Honour and War will be trying to ridden a little bit closer than what he... Unbelievable. Huge go. Serious Speed's well back, $7.50 to $5.50, and Sniper's Bullet 11 into $9.50. But by and away, the biggest money here on track has been for Tuesday Joy. Tom Waterhouse.
Tuesdays, and through the week I saw an old campaigner of Gai Waterhouse's Grand Army, who's on the jumping circuit now, heading maybe not for these Olympics, but then
a little bit stirring. Racing now. Let's see how she jumps. Serious Speed. She's back last of all. And Desert War out of gate number 2 is Sul, forward by Blake Shin. Tuesday Joy's up there, and so too is Honour and War. But they won't head Desert War. He's gone through to hit the lead. Led from Tuesday Joy. The stablemate settling down in second spot. So Boss has got her out of the stalls brilliantly, and she's right up there in the early stages. Outsmoke and Joe starting to go forward. So too Honour and War. It's right up in the middle. A little bit more rain to go clear by about 4 lengths at the 800 metres. metres. It's Desert War in front from Our Smoke and Joe Honour in War. Tuesday Joy on the outside is still 4, followed by Sniper's Bullet. Red Ruler was next, followed by Nom de Jeu, trying to hug the fence to replicate that run in the Derby. And then came Serious Speed and Serira back last of all. Desert War in front, only one more mission to complete. He's going to give it his all for one last time, and Blake Shin pulls a stick on him now to lead by about 2.5 lengths. He's nicely clear from Our Smoke and Joe, and then came Nom de Jeu getting into the clear. He's running on quickly. Tuesday Joy going with it, and then came over on the inside Serira. It's Nom de Jeu coming up to claim Desert War. Tuesday Joy, and then came Serira, and it's the Derby winner Nom de Jeu. Serira on the inside's going to challenge it. Tuesday Joy's only battling. It's Nom de Jeu and Serira. Serira on the inside has taken the lead. Nom de Jeu, Serira. Here's a big boil over. Serira has beaten Nom de Jeu and Tuesday Joy from Desert War. Gallant in defeat, and then Serious Speed, Red Ruler, followed by Sniper's Bullet, and 100 yards away Honour in War and Our Smoke and Joe.
A boil over in the big race. Number 5, Serira, the Warrnambool Cup winner from last year. Damien Oliver finally
is down there, unbelievable, and Damien.
It's a good tough horse.
Did you ever think it'd be a Group 1 performer?
No, I didn't. No, I would say that.
3.5 and 36.89 the final 600. Inglis Interims, there you are. Damien Oliver getting the Group 1 Queen Elizabeth Stakes on Serira. 47.40 and 7.70 the place. 2.50 for Nom de Jeu, the Derby winner, backing up.
Serira. A ball over, right? Shades of Blue Tigeroo for D. Oliver here. Serira, $51, but carrying bets with Sporting Bet of 400,000 to 4,000, and with a Scanners Bet Star of 200,000 to 2,000 each way, and hundreds into 40s, being able to win and beat Nom de Jeu, who was terrific, backing up from that great win, of course, in the Derby.
Expected win in the Derby.
Yeah, of course. And Tuesday Joy just battling home there. But Serira, we'll hear from Mike Moroney, but it's an amazing tale, this story, the Warrnambool Cup winner of last year.
Unbelievable. Mike Moroney legged Ollie up and said, I'll see when you get back.
And I was giving it credit for, and that's clearly the case here because...
Long, great run for the 3-year-old.
Absolutely.
And Desert War, let's not forget him. It was his last race start. Marvellous.
We'll talk about him shortly, Rich. But
that little bit heavier, that's certainly advantaged Serira, but I still can't believe it. I had to go and check the brands to make sure it was Serira, but too good for me.
Spoke to Glenn.
It looked to have every chance third. What do you make of it all?
Well, I don't know. There's always one result that's going to turn. This is a good horse's race, really, as a rule. You know, Rough Habits won at Might and Powers.
Well, there's the Derby.
Shogun Lodge, Lonhro, Grand Ami. This is a very good horse's race. There's always a Dandy Andy popping up somewhere, and this is one for sure. Serira's look, he won the Warrnambool Cup last year. He's a wet tracker. The track wasn't that wet. I'm still trying to work out how he won this race.
Well, he got beaten at Moonee Valley at his last start. It was a pretty ordinary race there too. It's just
looking at that race, and you see Nom de Jeu. Like they're all a lot of these horses. They're coming back from 2,400 metres. A lot of them you don't even know are going to run. Like Sniper's Bullet, can he get 2,000 metres? Like the more you look in and delve into this race, you can probably put a case, admittedly at very good odds, for the winner.
I'll turn it up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you took the $51. I'm certain.
It was 100.
It was 100.
It was 100, Richard. Someone took it.
There's some smarter people than us that did.
I think it started at 51.
Did you, Alfie? Did you?
No.
Oh, right.
Don't insult.
Look about you.
Thank you very much for that, Shane. 13 minutes away from start time for the Schweppes Sydney Cup, and Damien Oliver's on the favourite. No Wine, No Song, and Richie's already getting heavily backed here on course.
Yeah, they've come for him, haven't they, Caroline? They were betting $5 this morning. He's now into $3.60. Big go. Number 1, there's Ballack winning the punters cheered. I heard him in Sydney. 1 County Tyrone, $21 is spot on. The Fuzz. Well, this reminds me of Glastonbury. If it wins, they'll tear the joint down. $13 into 11 on.
Great job as a trainer. Minute away from start time, and No One, No Song. At the moment, on course, $3.70 after getting out to $4.20. What a great race this has been. A course for the stayers. Gallic last year. Old County Tyrone going around in his 6th Sydney Cup. He won at 2006. Before that, the great Mackay
in the Cup. And Pentathon missed the start. So too did Red Lord and Tales of Triumph. And Grand Destiny is jagged back from a wide alley and is coming across behind them. And Laser Sharp has gone straight back to the tail of the field. He's got a throttle hold on him early to get him to settle today. And County Tyrone's up sharing the lead in the first 200 or 300 metres with Play Me. No Wine, No Song is starting to tack on. They've got 800 metres to go. Back where they started, and the leader is Play Me from Young Centaurs going up on the inside, the Chieftain on the outside. County Tyrone's been given every possible chance, and so too for No Wine, No Song. Shane Dye starting to sneak up on the inside now on Pentathon. He's He's gone through along the rail, and then came Lang and Sir Jane, followed by the Fuzz. Exonite making a move in the centre from further back, Lacey Underall, and then came Red Lord, and Laser Sharp is still well back. It's Play Me turning for home in the Sydney Cup in front. Young Centaur up on the inside from Penathon. They're starting to chime in with No Wine, No Song, and County Tyrone on the outside. About 5 stretched across the track, and Red Lord's made up ground along the inside. It's No Wine, No Song fighting it out with Penathon. It's Diane Oliver. No Wine, No Song on the outside's got a narrow advantage, and Oliver shoots it away. No Wine, No Song to take it out. No Wine, No Song wins the cup from Penathon, and Lang got third from County Tyrone and Red Lord from Lacey Underall. Then Play Me, Young Centaur, Resolute.
A race-to-race Group 1 double for Damien Oliver. No Wine, No Song for Kevin Moses, taking out the 2008 Schweppes Sydney Cup, and he's placing, and Lang getting up into the placings too. But there he is getting to the line, Damien Oliver, and it's 2 in a row for him, Group 1s.
They were the two favourites, and they were both given 10 out of 10 rides by Damien Oliver, No Wine, No Song, and Shane Dyer.
Kev. Yeah, he has. He's a lovely horse. If you know, you could bring him in here and take him for dinner, and he'd sit there, and he's got better manners than some of these people that you eat with. He's just a lovely horse.
You're wrapping the stallion last week, saying an $8,000 stallion gets a good horse, a tough horse like this.
Why? No one goes to that stallion. You look at his breeding. He's you know, and if people want to get interested in breeding stayers, you've got to go to him.
Is it more fun to win it as a jockey or as a trainer?
As a jockey. There's not half as much work.
Would you like to take him to Melbourne in the spring?
I think so, yeah. Well, he does stay, so yeah, that's where we'll go home to Joe's place. Joe will do a great job looking after him, and
County Tyrone and Red.
No Song for Damien Oliver, who now wins the Brisbane Cup, the Sydney Cup, a couple of Melbourne Cups, Adelaide Cup, Perth Cup to complete. Make a decent living out of training as a boutique operation.
Well, last year I lost 60,000, so wasn't too good. But I have more staff than I need. I want to be successful. I don't need the money out of training. I like the glory, so I have.
In the third spot here. Can't really make any excuses at all. Old County Tyrone, he was terrific again, and you know, and unfortunately the resolution went amiss just past the winning post here.
I think it's a good sign that we had such a big field in the Sydney Cup. We don't always get a field that big, and that's good for the the stocks of stayers in this country. But then you've got to balance that against an 8-year-old winning it, and County Tyrone. Well, how old's he, Chris?
He's 9. That was his 6th Sydney Cup.
6th Sydney Cup. Where we're yet to see some young stayers coming forward. That's what we need to see.
This is another Group 1 coming up. This is the Daily Telegraph all-age stakes over 1,400 metres at weight for age level, and just had a look at Racing to Win going past. He looks sensational here in the yard. He's in. Look through these runners racing to
75 now. Tom Waterhouse said they've come in. Well, how much? They've how-muched him on number 1, Racing to Win. He's been very heavily backed, and
5 to 175, still holding up on the tote at 180. Casino Prince 440.
Off now, Racing to Win favourite, broke quickly, so too did Murder Jill. Going up on the inside is Shark Bite, and in the early stages Shark Bite has just got the lead from Racing to Win. Arlington splitting that pair. Murder Jill's on the outside a little bit wide. Zupa One will ease back into 5th spot, and then came Casino Prince starting to edge forward from German Chocolate, a couple of lengths to Fighting Fun, and about do a bit of work to get there. Murder Jill, they race away and lead by a couple of lengths now on Shark Bite and Zupa One. Racing to Win back in 5th spot, and he's out a little bit wide at the moment. Casino Prince is sliding up, and then came German Chocolate, a couple of lengths to Fighting Fun, and still Double Dare's about 3 or 4 lengths away. Murder Jill booted clear at the 600, opened up 2.5 on Arlington, who's now steering a wider course, and then came Shark Bite. Racing to Win starts to come into it now. Zupa One back near the inside. Casino Prince, he's starting to weave through in the centre now. Oliver as they come for home, and Murder Jill's got a big break up the rise. He's about 3 or 4 in front, but the other grey Racing to Win is setting sail out after him. 2 lengths to Casino Prince. Murder Jill in front, but not for long. Racing to Win has closed the margin very quickly, and the odds-on favourite took the lead from Murder Jill and Casino Prince, and Hugh Bowman shoots him away. Racing to Win by about 3/4. He's too good. They took the tomato sauce and he got the money. Beat Murder Jill and Casino Prince, and then Double Dare followed by Fighting Fun, German Chocolate, Shark Bite. Arlington was next, and last in was Zupa One.
Oh, he deserved that. Racing to Win taking out the Group 1 all-age stakes. Stakes. Hugh Bowman getting the Group 1 and John O'Shea as well. This wonderful race.
Away from it. It is, but you know, he's raced really well during the autumn. I've been really happy with him all along. You know, it was just disappointing for him to miss the Chipping Norton. It probably cost him a bit, and he's finally got himself fit and on the job today. And we know when he's like that, he's a great horse. And you know, they've run great time today, and he's done a little bit wide and done it with a bit of authority.
He got no spoil in the run, did he?
We've just been sort of run behind all along.
Of course, you decided to dodge the Doncaster because of the handicaps. Anything you want to say about that now?
Oh, look, he wouldn't have won it with 58.5. You know, like I think, you know, obviously it showed Casino Prince wasn't that far off him at level weights. He couldn't give him 4 kilos and beat it, so it wouldn't have mattered what he had. He wouldn't have won it. So it's been nice. We've forced our hand, and he's come here and won a Group 1 as a result.
The spring, you're obviously going to keep into
the winner.
Now, we saw you last week having a little discussion after a race, which possibly couldn't be aired on public television. What's he like to ride for sometimes?
Oh, look, I find him good to ride for.
Good should say that.
He rarely gives instructions, but last week he sort of well, he said follow Corey Brown on Patchy Cat and come to his outside, and ended up getting caught on his inside, and I'd made the fatal mistake of thinking he was gone, so I thought, oh, well, I shoot up the inside, and of course, no sooner I got going, he got his wheels in motion, but, you know, on the day it was probably too good anyway, but that's not the point, is it?
No. John, what advice did you give Huey post-race there?
Oh, no, we got a level of expectation of all our riders, Bruce, and that wasn't a level, you know, a ride that was becoming of a Group 1 ride. And I think more than anything, it's a time of year that, you know, everyone needs to be stepping up to the plate, and you need to lift and do things a little bit better, and probably...
And then Double Dare.
I sure did take the tomato sauce, $1.75 in from much better than that. Gee, they're in some time here. 122.79 overall on the dead, out in 46.84 and home in 35.95. So, John, it's a measure of the performance, isn't it, in the times?
Yeah, no, he was really up to the mark yesterday. It improved since the rider, and, you know, Hugh rode him.
Coming to the turn, Murder Jill was the one out in front travelling. You'd been on Murder Jill, his run preparation. You're always confident you had him covered?
Very confident, and like, well, obviously the time suggests that we were running along all race, and I mean, I knew what I had underneath me, and I rode Racing to Win. I thought his work on Tuesday morning was at least 2 to 3 lengths better than his work leading into the George Ryder. So, and obviously the form around Weekend Hustle with Chris's horse winning the Doncaster, it's just stood up all preparation. So I was very confident yesterday, and I knew my horse was going to pick up when I asked him to, and well, I thought Murder Jill did a good job to stick with me when I went past him, actually.
Been good owners to you, John?
Terrific race in general. You know, 3 top headline horses, I'd suggest. And how long a week is? Last week was saying, you know, John O'Shea, you know, blowing his stack at you, and you copped it sweet, and yesterday, you know, they just had a day to remember.
Yeah.
A day to remember.
He spoke very well today at the presentation too.
Look, he had his colours lowered by a champion last time in Weekend Hustler, and he bounced back here after a tough run and left his rivals no excuses.
It just all adds up to Weekend Hustler being an absolute freak,
doesn't it? Isn't it?
Because he couldn't take ground off Weekend Hustler at his last start, but here he's just dominated a very, very good field here. Murder Jill, a little bit of a weight pull there, but you know, it certainly was a very good run and probably above what he's been doing. Casino Prince has been in great form, so when you see those 3 horses crossing the line with only a length and a half between them, you know that's a high quality race.
Yeah, Murder Jill could go into Queensland now and just snatch that Group 1 somehow. You know, he might just fluke one of them, and Casino Prince just couldn't bring his legs back to the 1400, but he was really warming up late, along with Double Dare doing his usual thing, launching late. You know, good race, good race.